Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And I want to welcome you here. But first, you know what I'm talking about. The title says it all. USA is a third world country. You just don't know it yet. Are you ready? We got to get ready, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank you so much for being here once again on a Friday night live stream. And please, before we get into this, smash the like button. That's so the YouTube gods know that we have people in the house. And I want to thank you once again for being here on the Friday night live stream, because you could be anywhere on the planet besides here listening to me and here in the SSN Nation. Let me see who's in the house first. We have Laverne Penix in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Hello, SSN Nation, living my best life. I love Laverne Penix. I love to hear that, because now is a good time to live your best life. Why wait till retirement? That's all I can tell you about that. I'll have another video about that some other time. But thank you so much for being here, living your best life. DRN Black 25, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, SSN is what he's saying. I appreciate it. Maria Barnes is here on a Friday night. Thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation and on the Friday night live stream, and has the tagline, hello, SSN Nation. Happy Friday. Well, happy Friday to you too. Thank you. Miguel, Army retired veteran with the icon next to his name, like Laverne Penix has the icon. That means you're a member of the channel. And he says, God bless everyone. Miguel, you weren't here, I don't believe, on Wednesday night. And I actually had some video that people provided for updates. That's right, updates at Vistacana. I'll actually run the video tonight, because they are talking about, hey, this is what's happening at ARCO. So you might want to check it out, and stay tuned for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk, because I've been telling people for the last 20 years that America's a third world country, but they don't know it yet. Once you travel outside the United States and their territories, then if you go to Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory, and you're finding out, wait a minute, that's United States, it's Puerto Rico. If you travel around, you'll be like, what kind of place is this? Infrastructure crumbled, schools closed, roads tore up. So, and crime, of course. And you're finding out, well, is that any different from Mississippi, Alabama, any other place in the United States, California, New York, crime-ridden Chicago? So here's the thing, right? You guys in America don't think of these things, but I will tell you a few things that I noticed when I travel around the world. And we'll get into that shortly, and why the United States is a third world country. And you don't know it yet, because you have been fooled, bamboozled, hoodwinked. Sound like a Denzel Washington movie. Wayne Moon, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. He says hello, happy Friday. Well, hello and happy Friday to you. And ladies and gentlemen, look behind me. You notice there's a picture on the wall. As you know, I was supposed to be doing my Exit California, but I'm going to make a video about why I still have a picture on my wall after movers come to my house, or came to my house yesterday. And I'm just going to tell everybody here on the live stream why we live in a third world country has something to do with this title tonight. So just like in America, what happens when you try to get something done? So if I want something done at my house or rebuilt or something that had to do with rehabbing on my house, whether adding floors, carpeting, it doesn't matter, roofing, what do people normally say? I want 50% up front. Standard issue, right? So these are the kind of things that you have to think about. And unfortunately, I'm going to run a video because the part to the story is, I'm going to get to that story a little bit later, but the part to the story is these guys came to the house, jacked up my price, said I'm going to have to pay thousands of dollars more than what I was contracted for. And so I was like, well, that's not going to happen. You can leave. So that's why I still have a picture on the wall while I'm still here in my office and not gone. We'll get into it. But unfortunately, another moving situation here in California because of what happened. I'm going to have to move stuff to Cali temporarily because I'm supposed to be leaving. So we're going to find out what that's all about. But I have to get this phone call. So we'll get into the third world country situation. But I'm going to run a few videos because I have to do this real time. So we'll talk about the third world. But before I didn't answer the phone call. So I'm going to do this so everybody can understand what I'm talking about here. So there's no misunderstanding. Okay, so third world was back in the day where they tried to put people down. Unfortunately, I use the same terminology because I don't use third world as a derogatory phrase. I think of third world based on what are the roads like, what's the infrastructure like. So, and policing and things like that, the government, that's what I look at. But if you go by Investopedia, they're saying it's an outdated derogatory phrase that has been used historically to describe a class of economically developing nations. So now they're called developing nations, but they kind of are third world countries. So if you look at United States considered first world, along with China, along with most European countries, and then you go second world, and I don't even know what that means really, and then you say third world. So what I'm talking about is third world and defining developing nations, just what they're saying here, classifying countries as first, second, third. Oh, I didn't even know there was considered a fourth world. What is that? But nonetheless, developing nations or third world countries, generally, just like they say, economic situation is downhill, right? So when we're in America and people are sitting there going, there's no groceries on the shelf, that's just like if you're in Cuba or something. That's just like if you're in the so-called third world, or now I know the fourth world, which I've never known that was a term, but third world countries, that's like being in any like Caribbean islands where you might roll in and it's like, hey man, how you got these packages and the packages are smaller. You guys have heard me talk about this before. And so what happens is packages are smaller in the third world countries because you can't charge $5 for a bag of spaghetti, a bag of cookies, a bag of whatever. So they shrink it down to half the size and then charge $1.50 or $2. That's what I find when I go to third world countries, all right, or developing nations. So in America, I don't know about you guys, but have you been shopping lately? And when you go to the grocery store and go get a bag of chips, a bag of anything, the packages started shrinking. They have shrunk down. The cookie aisle shrinking, but you pay more. You pay more here in America because people have a little more cash. So they're willing to spend $5 on a smaller bag, even though 2 years ago, the bag was bigger and only cost you $2.50. But you don't care because you think you're number one. You think this is the way it's supposed to be. But what if you thought that's not the way it's supposed to be? You're not supposed to live on $35,000, $38,000 a year, right? Look at this. I'm going to do something else tonight that I didn't plan on doing, but I'm just going to put this on the screen. And I'm going to have to run this video because I got to set up some movers too. I'm still doing a live stream, ladies and gentlemen. It does not stop. You know, sometimes there's life happens. But I'm going to show you this here on the screen. The average annual wage in the U.S. was $51,000 in 2019. So just keep this in mind, this 2019 data. But more importantly, look at this. The median annual wage was $34,000. Now, just so everybody can understand, because let me give you this definition, because you would say, why do they use median instead of just average, right? Well, look at this formula over here on the right-hand side. They're using a different formula. All right? Because it would be hard pressed. People would start being depressed when they find out that the average wage in America is like 38, 37 grand. $3,000 per month. Most people right now think about what happens if you only made $3,000 per month. All right. So median is the value separating the higher half from the lower half. All right. Here it is right here. I want to show you guys something, because when you start putting your thinking caps on, you really start realizing people do not make all this money in America that the rest of the world thinks. Because if you travel around the world and you show up and you say, I'm from America, I'm from the USA, they have this preconceived notion, oh, you have all this money, because we see all these things that we don't have in our country in your country. You can go buy anything. Little do they know how many people have credit up to the hilt, because we're in a third world country. Our infrastructure, we have bridges falling down in the so-called richest nation of the world, right? So this is the thing. What are we going to have to do about it? Well, there's only one thing that's going to happen. You're going to be taxed more money, USA citizen, which means you need to make more money, USA citizen, which is why this year passive income is a must that you guys have heard me talk about. So tonight, I just wanted to talk about this a little more, because you guys know it's happening. So you have to prepare yourselves for the future. And it looks like we have some Russians in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. I appreciate you being here, because, hey, we don't have many international watchers of this channel, according to the YouTube statistics. So I want to thank you for the 1 or 2 Russians that show up every month in the back office. Obsidian Lion, the Code Keeper. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to the name. Thank you so much for being here. And he says, hello, Eric and SSN family. Welcome to the SSN Nation once again. Obsidian Lion, the Code Keeper's in the house. All right. Now, let's keep going. I was gonna stop, but I just want you guys to understand. Reason why they're saying median is because, if you can see this on the screen that's highlighted, is because if you really start thinking, the value separating the higher half from the lower half. So if you really start thinking about it, what is the higher half? And then therefore the median price is half from the lower half. $34,000 in 2019. That is absurd, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where you people live. Where I live, and a bunch of states that I know about, you can't live anywhere for making $3,400 that's going to be ultra nice. It'll be fine. Who can? I don't even know any place you can rent for $1,000 a month. because you have to make 3 times the value of the rental generally. So what happens when places are 1,200, 1,500, 1,800, 2,000 and up? You can't live there. But I damn sure know this: in every city, the places that cost the least are places that you generally do not want to live. Right? I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. So when you start talking about the higher half and lower half, you add those together and it ends up being $34,000. That doesn't seem like a rich nation to me, because a grocery bill right now for a family of 4 is going to be more than $200 or $300. I don't care if you want to say $200 or $300 every 2 weeks or $200 or $300 a month. Either way, that's going to be eating into somebody making 1,000 or not even 1,000, $800 a week. Now, let me break down something else. All right. So we have somebody in the house. He's a kin to the SSN Nation. I don't know if he's been listening here for long, but Wayne Moon has it exactly correct. The top 10% of the wealthiest own 89% of the stock market. It used to be 91%, but it dropped. Thank you, Webull. Thank you, Robinhood. That's where you get your free stocks, ladies and gentlemen. The links are down below in the description, because now more Americans haven't started investing because of these apps. So it took off 2%. So it's 89%, but it's still close enough to 90. The other part that he didn't put in also is, I'm going to put it on the screen for you. Check this out. This is even more sickening. This is even more sickening. I'm going to put this on the screen. I'm going to put this on the screen. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. If you think that's something, look at this one. The richest 1% in the United States now own more wealth than the bottom 90%. Okay, some studies argue this. That's one study. But here's the other part. Here's the other part. So now when you add a 0 on here, check this one out. As of Q3 2019, the top 10% held 70% of the country's wealth. Are you guys getting these numbers yet? Remember all that trickle up? Remember all that we're going to give money to the rich people and that'll trickle down and help out the economy and help out the world? Ladies and gentlemen, roads crumbling, bridges crumbling, infrastructure crumbling, electricity power grid crumbling. Where's all this money? Because the rich people don't pay taxes like the bottom. But as you guys know, just saw, the top 10% has as much wealth as 70% of the lower population. So you still think you live in a freaking first world country? So if you're a top 10%, you don't pay taxes because you have the right accountants. You pay less tax percentage-wise, right? So while somebody who makes $34,000 a year from their salary, they get taxed at around 20 to 24%, right? Meanwhile, these guys who make millions of dollars may not even have to pay taxes. Or they get their taxes reduced because they have depreciating assets, or they took losses on some business deals that intended to make a loss. Let me give you an example. Have you guys ever wondered, in your city, you roll around and you see businesses and offices and retail locations empty for years? That sometimes is by design. Like a Walmart, they used to be at one location, Then they pick up and move to another location in the same city, but the Walmart location is still vacant after 4 or 5 years. You know why? It's because they're still paying the lease on the building, calling it a write-off. While they got a new business, their new building location, they're paying there too. So also it blocks competition because that building is already built out for all the other businesses, such as a Target, right? Such as potentially a Whole Foods or any other business that could be competitors of theirs. So it blocks the competitors from coming into town where there would be more revenue coming in because there'd be more people working and more salaries available. But what happens? They leave the places vacant so they can get write-offs because they make millions of dollars. They hold most of the wealth. They don't give a damn about you making $35,000. And they damn sure don't give a damn about you because if you're working at Walmart, I want to know who makes $34,000 after tax. Never mind about before tax. All right? Because we're talking facts here, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Because things aren't what they appear. This is a third world country for you. But we're going to talk about how you have to get passive income. We're going to talk about all that. I'm going to go Google Calculator real quick because I want to show something. So you guys are out here talking about this. How many people make $20 an hour? All right, 20 times 40. That's 800 times 4. Hold on. 800 times 4. Yeah, can't do it. We know it's 3,200, but 3,200 is 800 times 4, right? So if you don't make $20 an hour, you still are below the median range average for wages. All right? So let's keep this real. Stay real, ladies and gentlemen, because it's about to get a whole lot worse. So if you're not making but $20 an hour, if that's it, that's not even the median salary. So you got to make like 25 an hour, let's say. Let's say you make 25 an hour. How many people make 25 an hour? They don't work at Walmart. You see what I'm saying? They don't work at Target. They don't work at Amazon. The majority of workers make less than $25 an hour. So where are they getting this 34,000 median from? We'll get into some more numbers. So again, this is why here at SSN Nation, we always talk about how you have to make different streams of income because you never know what's going to happen. And also, while you're making different streams of income, you are getting taxed on those different streams of income now. You guys know sending people Cash App, doing Venmo, PayPal, and all this, you potentially can be taxed now. Just off of, hey, I sold my bicycle. The person paid me on Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. I already bought the bicycle and I paid tax for it with my taxable earned income. Now I sold it to somebody else. They pay me. And now I'm going to pay tax on what I was already taxed on. Again, taxed on my salary or wage, taxed on when I bought the bike. Now they're taxing me when I sell the bike too. Oh, yeah, you live in a first world country, all right. I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting fooled, hoodwinked, bamboozled. That's what I think Denzel Washington said on that movie. I don't know which movie it was, but that is the whole point. Everybody says they go with the 1930s mantra. You're getting brainwashed. It's patriotic to pay taxes. Well, it's patriotic to pay taxes when you're in the lower taxable bracket, but it's patriotic to not pay taxes when you're in the top 10% of the wealthiest. So everybody comes out, the top 10% of the wealthiest can brag about, I reduce my taxes. Everybody's brainwashed to go, oh, that's cool. They're a business person. Meanwhile, you're not a business person, but you slave away 8, 10, 12 hours a day and you're getting taxed and you're like, oh, it's patriotic. It's all good. This is why We live in a third world country, but they want to keep up the facade like we live in a first world country. And this is why they're making up these tax rules so they can steal your money. And people are out here like, is this for real? They're taking your money from just simple transactions that you would do normally that has nothing to do with that anybody should be paying taxes for. I bought a car at the dealership. I paid taxes. I bought the car at the dealership, paid taxes on the purchase. I got my money that I had to pay taxes on. I turn around and sell the car. These guys now are saying, I got to pay tax on that from money received from these people. It's my stuff. Now you're finding out you don't really own jack crap. They got you hoodwinked, bamboozled, fooled because you think you live in a first world country. But they silently taking our money, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to start making plans. Start your own business so you can have tax write-offs, deductibles. Get into another level where you have stock for your company, where you can borrow against the stock so then that won't count as salary. You can always issue more stock. I'm just saying. All right, let me see what's in the house going on. I've been rambling for a minute. Let's see here. Let me see. All right. Stock market down. I am buying more stocks. Eric, are the Feds going to raise interest 3 times this year? Yes, Obsidian Lion, the code keeper. Funny you should mention that because that's exactly the Feds. Actually, the Feds have already raised interest rates. All right. This is the point. Everybody is fooled. You're fooled, ladies and gentlemen. So here's what happened. The Federal Reserve in December, when I said they're going to raise it, they still said no go. You guys see the result of this because now people are seeing, oh my God, things are 15, 20, 30% more just over the last 3 months than they were earlier. That's right. Thanks to Feds. Now, the thing is, the Fed then said, we're going to revisit raising the federal funds rate, interest rate in our next meeting at the end of March. Okay? Guess what happened though? If you try to go buy a house, they already raised the interest rate. The Fed hasn't done anything. But people are going to pay more in mortgage interest now. Got everybody fooled. They're doing it silently while you're sitting out here thinking everything is all kosher. It's not kosher, ladies and gentlemen. Power grids going out because of snowstorms. Power grids going out because of thunderstorms. That's just a sign of the times. Is there any state? Is the United States as a federal system or any state independently attending to their power grid, energy grids, putting in that extra money? You know why they're not? Because that means they're going to have to take more money from you, ladies and gentlemen. So that means you're going to have to make more money as a United States citizen. You're not going to be able to rest on your laurels. Just because you made $200,000 this year, okay, that's cool. But you better keep making $200,000 a year just to live the same way you live now and add on another 15%. So now you better make $230,000 over this year, because that's the only way you're going to stay even. Because you're not going to be able to stay even because heaven forbid you go out here and sell something and somebody pays you using PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or any other method. Hell, Zelle you $700. It's a taxable event. Sure, I sold it, but what's the taxable event? Is it 24, 25%? Is it 15%? What is it? Taxing me on stuff I already own. Actually, they've been doing that the whole time. And look who's in the house. Victor Marrero is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday. No. SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Yes. And he has the icon next to his name. And he has the tagline in tow, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's how he rolls. All right. Thank you for being here, Victor Marrero. Silverman Fox with the icon is also here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm in. Yes, you're in. In like Flint. And Obsidian Lion, the code keeper, says that's crazy. Yeah, man, statistics and facts don't lie. Then you find yourself, you're in a bigger hole than you thought. I'm here. Yes, I know you're in the house. Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, is here with the icon next to his name. And he says a tagline: good evening, SSN family. ABMM. I'll say it for you. Always be making money. That's what we have turned into, ladies and gentlemen. That's why this third world country that we live in has went off the rails. When they started doing this thing, such as side hustles are all going to be taxed. So now the Uber drivers got to pay more. The Lyft drivers got to pay more in tax. All of a sudden, all this stuff, side hustles, is now a taxable event. Although some would argue it should have been taxable event anyhow, because you're a U.S. citizen. And therefore, if you're making money, you're supposed to pay tax on that money. But traditionally, you running around picking people up, you running around trying to make extra money, you running around to yard sales and buying something and then flipping it on eBay or Amazon. And now all of a sudden they're saying, well, that's taxable event. This is crazy. And this also should tell you the government is in a deficit, right? What are they at now? $30 trillion? And they don't have any plans on paying that back, of course. But that also means, I don't know about you, but where I come from, when somebody says, hey, you know, I'm $3.9 million in debt, and I think I want to borrow some more money, like another 3 million. Is that all right? I think the answer would be, hell no, it's not all right. But the United States government is doing that. They don't care about borrowing millions and hundreds of millions and trillions of dollars after they're already in debt. That means we're in debt, people. United States citizens. That means your grandkids are in debt. The great-grandkids, the great-great-great-grandkids are all in debt before they're even born. Why don't you divide 30 trillion into something else? All right, I'm going to have to run this video, ladies and gentlemen, because I got to get this phone call. But here we go. This is from Miguel. I don't know if this is the longest one, but we'll find out. I'll run a couple of them.
The main entrance is towards that way, and this is what will be the sports zone, la zona deportiva, and this will be the wave. This section here. And then towards that way is a panorama garden, luxury, panorama luxury, and towards the beach area.
For the last 3 days.
That's towards the entrance coming in through this road, and this is the area of panorama. The main entrance is towards that way, and this is what will be the sports zone, la zona deportiva, and this will be the wave. This section here. And then towards that way is a panorama garden, luxury, panorama luxury, and towards the beach area.
See where we're at. Okay.
The main entrance is towards that way, and this is what will be the sports zone, la zona deportiva, and this will be the wave. This section here. And then towards that way is a panorama garden, luxury, panorama luxury, and towards the beach area.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the interruption. I had to be on the phone to make sure I have the schedule going for the movers. But again, my exit California went sideways in case you came here late. So please smash the like button. So therefore, that's why you still see the picture. And for those who are making a video about this, of course I am. But just so everybody knows, you guys thought I would be exiting, being in a different place. I was supposed to be yesterday, but the movers who I have a contract with, they showed up. Then when they showed up, they started talking like crazy. Oh, this is going to be $5,000 more. I was like, no, it's not. That's crazy. Everything on the list that is on the list is what you priced this at. So I don't know what you're talking about. So I said, you can leave. I did have to put down a little deposit, which was another mistake, but I put down a little deposit, so I lose that deposit because they said I refused service. I was like, I didn't refuse service. The guy tried to say I owe $5,000 more. I'm not going to pay that. That's not refusing service. That's like I'm not paying more than what our contract says. So anyhow, that's another video for another day. And Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial's in the house. And he says the average income OC is $22 an hour or $44K per year. Well, the median price is only 38. Well, it's 34,000 in 2019. Actually, I'm going to put this on the screen because things are even worse than what I was showing you. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Average, I don't want to say average. Okay, average salary, they gave us a median price. Here we go. Here we are. So they're still giving the median price because they don't want to give the average wage in America. They're still trying to make it $20 an hour is what they're trying to say. $20 an hour. Okay. Stop fooling ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We need passive income. I'm about to go even further than this because we need passive income. But before that, everybody knows when you come here, get your free $10 of Bitcoin from Coinbase. The link is down below the video in the description. Get your free $5 of Shiba from Webull, and then get your free stocks. Those are always mandatory requests on the live streams because it's down below in the video. So all I'm going to say about this nonsense about how much people get paid hourly, well, there's a problem because union workers get paid more. So what do you want to do to reduce income and wages in America and turn it into a third world country? Why would I want somebody making $25 or $30 per hour when I can turn around and hire people at $15 an hour or $20 an hour to build my cars? Remember, car manufacturers have thousands of people working for them. So generally they're in a union. But so does Walmart, so does Target, so do car dealerships, so do restaurant workers, so do workers that are in the hospitality businesses. There's a lot more of those workers than there are any manufacturing jobs. But oftentimes those workers are being banned from forming unions, which are illegal. Another reason you know you live in a third world country is when they don't want to take care of their workers and they want to make billions of dollars in profits instead. When they already make billions of dollars in profit, I don't know if anybody's new here, but I'm sure there are some new people because I'm going to keep kicking Walmart's ass. All right? The Walmart family, worth billions of dollars, make billions of dollars. OCs here, ordinary citizens here, know what I'm about to show on the screen. All right? Because Walmart gets I won't even put it in. I'll let you guys see what they are. Walmart subsidies. Wait. I won't even. Hold on. I got to do it a different way. I'm going to let you guys see. I know what the answer is. You guys won't believe this. You won't believe it. But since they're not showing it right now because I've been kicking their ass, here it is. Walmart workers cost taxpayers $6.2 billion. This right here is from 2014. This right here is 2014. I'll repeat again and again. 2014. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This third world country where you have a rich on the rich on the rich. Billionaires in 2014 were sending their workers down to get public assistance. That's right. Public assistance back then, and probably still do because they don't want to pay their people. And then back then, here is what they were doing. 7.8 billion a year in taxpayer subsidies, tax breaks. See this? Walton family benefit from tax breaks. Does this sound familiar? Tax cuts, tax breaks? Oh, yeah. But unfortunately, who's paying these taxes, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, yeah, the third world country. We're going to be snatching our Cash App and PayPal and Venmo, and we're going to pay taxes on it. Meanwhile, these guys get subsidies of billions of dollars a year. Are you guys waking up yet? That was 7 years ago, 8 years ago. You guys waking up yet? Now you see why your life is going to be slave life, because you have to constantly make more money. Victor Marrero's about to retire. Let's put it this way. He's about to retire. But there are people in America who are unlike Victor Marrero. Victor Marrero, along his journey, he said, I'm going to invest in some stocks. I'm going to invest in real estate. I'm going to invest in something that can return some revenue to me as I get older. That is what we have to do here, ladies and gentlemen. The same playbook. You have to do something that's going to make you money as you get older. So while you're younger, you can actually do hard work, sweat and tears. As you get older, hard work is a lot harder. So therefore, all the little side hustles that are going on now, they're not going away. You live in a third world country. They're not giving you no $200,000 a year jobs. Some people are qualified for $200,000 a year jobs, but if you don't go to school, if you don't get an education, if you don't learn a skill, then you have all kinds of problems. All kind. So this is why I started the channel, because a long time through my journey, I used to sit at a poker table, blackjack tables, do real estate deals. As you guys know, I talked about land auction before, be at these places. And I would tell people, hey, the same thing I'm telling people here in the nation. I'd be saying, hey, you got to get some things in order because it's going to cost you more 3 or 5 or 8 years from now. I specifically had a conversation with the grandson about 6 years ago. He was like 23 years old, and not my biological grandson, but I call him grandson. But 23 years old. At that time, I told him, hey, man, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more money in order to make a living. So that was 8 years ago. That is when rent for an apartment was $600, $700, $800. Now you can't even get a room in California for generally less than $800 to live in somebody's house in a room. Never mind your own place. Your own place could be $1,800, $1,600. And as you guys already know, if the median income is already around $34,000, when really it's 38, let's call it the average income, you already know $1,600, you can't live there. You're not going to be able to live there if you don't make $4,800 a month. So you see the dilemma as we go down the path of the Roman Empire. So you're going to have to get with the program and make your money work for you. Whether your money sits there in the stock market on index funds, because that may be the space you're going to have to stay in right now. because this stock market is going to start tumbling down. And I'm sitting in line, the code keeper, I forgot about something. All right. It is unreal. Take home versus salary difference, 2,500 versus 3,500 per month. It's sad. It doesn't matter. Yep. Sad. Most people working at Walmart cannot afford a car note. Curtis Davis. That's exactly right. Vanessa Gates in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Vanessa Wilson's in the house on the Friday night live stream. Hey, Boston SSN fam, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well. Glad to see you once again. All right. The great resignation in America. It's really more women starting businesses. Smart move. Exactly. It's a smart move. But watch what's going to happen next. Victor Morel, and guess what? Even if you move to another country, you still have to pay taxes to Uncle Sam. No place to hide. We're jammed anyways. Exactly. Again, we live in third world country, but here's what's so funny about this. Like I told people the story before, my friend playing pokers from Sweden, he wins at the Aruba. Not wins, he doesn't win. He comes in like, I think third or fourth or whatever. Anyhow, it was roughly somewhere around $250,000. So a month or two later, I see him in Vegas, and I'm like, hey, man, that was a nice little pickup that you had for that I think it was 250, 275, whatever the case may be. You know what he says? He says, oh, man, he's in Aruba now. He says he's in Aruba. It was on TV. He gets called from the Swedish government hours after his cash. I always want to say win, but he didn't win. But hours after the cash, and they tell him, hey, don't forget to ship like 130 or 40 grand. Literally called them up and said, send us the money. That's the tax you owe. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, man, yeah, I wired them the tax. The rest of the world, these so-called first world countries, they're already ahead of America. They're taking the money right then and there. You've been kind enough, because we have an IRS system, because the IRS is a whole nother thing. So the United States government does different things with their IRS, like forfeitures and taking people's property and stuff like that, and reselling it or not reselling it. But anyhow, they're taking their money right then and there. America, on the other hand, they say, hey, no worries, we'll deal with that later. And then if you don't pay, they're taxing you 25, 5%, 20, 25% because you didn't pay it. They have a different program. But all I'm trying to say is, this is already where we're heading. So when Victor Marrero starts saying things like this, he's exactly right. You're an American citizen, or any citizen around the world. No matter where you earn your income, that Social Security number you have, that is a tax number. You're going to be taxed for the rest of your life. Every time a kid comes and is born and you receive a Social Security number, that's a tax number. You're a subsidy of the United States of America, and any money you make, you're a business center to them. They get to tax you, ladies and gentlemen. You're a business center. You're not nothing. You're a business center. You're a number. They're like, this is worth X amount of dollars to us. They're monetizing you. You're a derivative. Again, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled. I'm going to keep using that until somebody tells me what Denzel Washington's line was. But he's exactly right about this. You can't hide. But for years, here's how the hiding goes. Offshore accounts. Walmart, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla. These companies have offshore, meaning not United States jurisdiction corporations and companies. Any monies made around the world are sent to their offshore companies. They don't come into America to be taxed. So once again, they're making billions of dollars, but they don't have to pay the tax on it like you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, more reasons to get off your duff and say, I need extra streams of income. What am I going to have to do? You're going to have to start slowly. Sure, you're not going to be able to turn, $2 into 20,000, but work it up. $100 a week, $100 a month, then it's $200 or every other week or $200 every week. Work slowly, build up. That's all you can do here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned we do have SSN Lifestyle. It's coming out March 1st. Right now, it's in pre-launch. This is a way for you to start making extra money as well. So, once again, I love when this type of situation is mentioned, like Victor Marrero. Lots of love at Victor. That's right. Taxes to U.S. unless you renounce citizenship. Exactly. But even if you renounce citizenship, you have to live somewhere. You're not going to escape. That's the point. Stocks, AMD up 3%. Lambda chips up 6%. New one, LAC Lithium up 2%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Financial, who has his own channel known as Chili Davis, he brings this type of information on his channel during the day, so you might be able to act when the stock market is open. But he's kind enough to drop gems here tonight as well. But Chili Davis, go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He's helping a lot of people as well. That's the SSN Nation way. And again, this is a no guru zone. So everything that I'm talking smack about, I'm not going to sell you a course. I'm not selling you a book. I'm not trying to say sign up for the email list so then I can get you on a list to sell you something there. No, we're providing this information here so you understand what you're up against. Because you can't bury your head in the sand, ladies and gentlemen. We live in a third world country. You just don't know it yet. Because anybody around these parts come to me talking about, hey, we owe $30 trillion. Can I borrow another $3 trillion? We all know that's going to be a hell no, right? I don't think anybody sitting here is going to go, oh, yeah, we're going to give you some more money after you owe us $30 trillion. Or let's put it in real word terms. Somebody owes you $3 million. You're not going to give them $500,000, are you? I need a loan, $500,000. And you're not going to give them $500,000 and tell them, oh, it's 0% interest. You're not going to give them both of that, are you? No, you're not. Unless you have a way to tax whoever's in thin air. Yeah, thin air. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's talk about it. We got Crypto King in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Nice to see you. Live off collateral crypto loans. There's a man, a very smart person. That's right. You have to invest in crypto in the first place. Again, invest in assets, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're out here, there's some people right now that buy $200, $300, $400 worth of something every week that earns them nothing, or waste $300 or $400 every week. If you were to turn that into crypto, let's say, so if we did $300 a week, I'll do the math. What 300 times 52, right? Not a week. I'll use a month, so we can use 12 months. So 300 times 12, $3,600. You could add that $3,600 sitting in a crypto account, whether it went up and now you have 4,800, or whether it went down and you only have 3,000. The point is, though, because it's an asset, you can turn around and borrow and get a loan against those assets. All right? Non-taxable event. That's the beauty of it. Then when the price goes up, you benefit from that. At least you hope the price goes up. You benefit from it. And so therefore, you don't have taxes. Then you pay it back. Again, not a taxable event. This is why I said it before. Executives of big corporations do not want to show you their salary. Because if you knew that their salary is based on a loan, which you're thinking, oh, this guy got paid $1.2 million this year in salary. But then if you find out that was a loan of 1.2 million, then they pay him 1.2 million, which pays back the loan. There's no taxable events. And then you turn around and find out they have stocks, and they borrow against the stocks, again, they're not paying taxes. And you can do the same thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a company. You can do the same thing if you invest in the stock market or crypto or real estate and put a company name under it, and you're the employer or the CEO. You can borrow and do the same thing they're doing, except one thing. Most people don't know about this because this is not taught in any school. No accountants coming on talking about doing this for the ordinary citizens. All right, let's keep it rolling. Obsidian Lion, the code keeper. I don't have AMD. Just been dip buying ChargePoint, $30 trillion. Went in too deep. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. AMD. In fact, let me pull up AMD. This is it, because it could be a buying opportunity, quite frankly. Let's see where it's at, because I haven't bought any new. 136. Okay, it's up over 100 now. There was a time somebody had opportunity, but AMD, we talked about AMD. Mr. Financial brought this. Look at 6 months. I'm going to go past that. If you were around us in 2020, it was only $47. If you're around us in 2021, it was only $70, $80. Let's see. Here we are. $90 December 11th. Back down to 77. Now look where we are. Mr. Financial was shouting to the rooftops when it was around $70, $72 a share. Back in the day, people were ignoring it. I think most people would like to have a increase of 55 or 60% on their money year over year. This is only a year over year. If you'd have done 2 years ago, you'd be up almost up 100%. And then if you definitely got in like 2.5 years ago, you are up 100%. But this is time, ladies and gentlemen, and it's risk most of the time. Let's just call it what it is. Most people don't want to take a risk on stocks and wait long term. But stock is wealth building. The top 1% own 90% of the stock market. Do you think the government is going to allow these guys to fail? Hell no. They're always going to manipulate the stock market the best way they can. So therefore, as an ordinary citizen, that's where you should be. I used to tell all my friends, just like you guys are my friends, and I'll tell you too. They used to go, hey, Eric, how come you always get to stay ahead of the curve a little bit? I say, well, it's not really ahead of the curve. It's just pretty simple. You just see what the rich guys are doing. They're not smarter than you. Then you do the same thing. If they're buying real estate, you need to be buying real estate. If they're starting businesses, you need to start businesses. Simple. If they're investing in the stock market, you invest in the stock market. I don't see a problem. Because all the rich people, they buy the senators and representatives, and they cater for the laws. They're the ones that's writing damn near the laws and then submitting it to the senators and representatives and saying, hey, this is what we think you should do. And then the senators look at it and say, how much was that donation again? Third world country style, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you call lobbying, but I call lobbying bribery. And in most countries, that's what they call it, bribery. In America, it's legal to bribe your government official if they are a senator or a congressman or a representative. That ought to tell you another reason. Where you find dictatorships, where do you find countries that are dysfunctional? Third world countries. Well, America is dysfunctional as well with their government system. When I can bribe our government officials and it's legal, and then they want to act like, oh, they're outstanding citizens. Let's get real. All right, you guys know my story. California. Oh, no, it's not just government officials. No, it's not the federal. No, ladies and gentlemen. Obsidian Lion, the code keeper. I'm unaware of collateral crypto. Oh, man, you know we've been talking about Celsius Network, and we've been talking about Nexo. So you can borrow against your assets at 0% interest if you borrow 25% or less. 25% or less, you get 0% interest on Celsius Network. 20% or less that you borrow, you get a 0% interest loan. And the beauty of it is no repayment plan. and you can borrow up to 3 years. So even if you said, hey, I want $3,000, they don't send you something going, okay, you owe us like whatever, $50 a month. No, you don't owe nothing, but you do owe the $3,000. And then you say, well, I want the $3,000. I'll pay it back in 2 years. Well, at the end of 2 years, you owe the $3,000. But before the 2 years, if you want to pay $30 or $20, fine, or nothing, fine. That's the beauty of it, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, I just mentioned Celsius Network, and I don't have Celsius Network down below or Nexo. But remember, when you deposit $400 or more with Celsius Network, you receive some free BTC. All right. And I'm putting the links down below in the description. And not only that, it's even more important. You earn interest every day on your money at Celsius and Nexo. Every day you earn interest, rewards on your crypto just for holding it at those locations. Every Monday, they give you compounding where they dump all the interest into your account. So that's the win-win. So the links are down below for Celsius Network or Nexo. You guys should use the link if you want to buy crypto somewhere and upload, like I said, $400 or more, you'll receive free BTC. They have promotions all the time. So that's another place that you have to make money. You have to figure out where you can earn passive income. And sure, 17%, 10%, 8% may not be that much, but it sure damn well beats 0% that you're getting at a bank. It damn sure beats having to pay monthly bank fees as they're siphoning off your money. All right, let's see what we got. Obsidian Lion, the code keeper, says Cardano maybe. Hey, Cardano is in the ISO 20022. Nothing wrong with that. Hit the like button, family. It helps the channel. Obsidian Lion, the code keeper. Thank you so much. I have been negligent. 1 hour in. Please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about in my rant so far tonight, we talk about different things, but hey, please subscribe to the channel and click the all notification bell. Now, speaking of the all notification bell, did anybody receive a YouTube notification tonight? Let me know. Did anybody see the trailer tonight? Let me know. All right. Haha. Top video at Eric leaving California. That's it exactly. That's it exactly. Good evening, Eric and SSN family from Diesel Mike. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here with the icon next to your name. I appreciate it. Crypto King, take them to court. Yeah, Crypto King. I would have to take them to court as it turns out. It's crazy. Curtis Davis, facts. Crypto King, they broke their agreement contract. Hey, that's the way I looked at it, man. That's the way I looked at it. And then they started talking about, oh, the contract is not a contract talk now. I was like, hold on, man. This is craziness. I said, nope, I'm sorry. That's not going to wash for me. We got issues. But anyhow, Obsidian Lion, let's work. Hit the button, family. Thank you so much once again, Obsidian Lion, the code keeper. Vanessa, that's right. Eric, telling the truth. Thank you so much. That's right. 200K jobs reserved for Ivy League grads like Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Georgia Tech. Not OC kids, barely surviving. Exactly right. That's exactly right. In fact, this is another major point that I have to illustrate. Here's what happens in America, or what happened in this third world country. And it's starting in the mid 80s. School used to be like inexpensive. College, and if you lived in Germany, it's free for college. I'm just saying, first world country stuff and all. Okay. Anyhow, and a few other European countries, high school, college is free. I'm just saying. All right, now let's get to the American system. It used to be cheap to go to college, only a few $1,000s a year or a few $100s a year before the 80s, unless you went to these Ivy League schools. Well, then all of a sudden they started going, hey, wait a minute. The OCs, the ordinary citizens, they got like 2.5 kids. And as long as we start changing things and say, hey, you need a college education to get a better job, then we'll have more people enrolling in college. So our next move, what should we do? I think we should raise the tuition because we're telling them to get a higher paying job that they should go to college. So we'll raise the tuition, but we know they can't afford it because hell, the average citizen only makes $25,000, $30,000 a year. So clearly they can't afford $6,000 a year for college tuition. So I know what we're going to do. They're used to these credit cards and lines of credit and mortgages and all that. We'll just say they can get student loans. But now, if they can get student loans, then we can raise tuition to whatever we want. And then we're going to tell them that you have a bachelor's degree, you'll make more money over the long term. College degrees, individuals, they do make money, more money than a person that did not go to college. Now, I don't know if the statistics are true because the United States government says inflation is only 7%. So I don't know if I'm going to rely on them to give me some accurate information such as that has to do with taking money out of our pockets. So anyhow, they say tuition, it can be anything you want. So now you have kids graduating with $100,000, $70,000 worth of student loan debt. And then they find out that when they get out of school, what do you mean I'm only making $25 an hour? I got student loan debt to pay. Yeah, $25 an hour, $4,000 a month. After tax, $3,200. And you guys thought it was going to be easy because you went to college and they got you. Hell, they got me too. Don't worry about it. We all went down the same path because at the time when they were saying this and promoting this, there were jobs that were higher paying. Except what they didn't tell you was what I'm about to show you on the screen right now. Let's do it this way. How many people graduated from college in 2020 in a pandemic year? 3.9 million students, ladies and gentlemen. 3.9 million students. Okay. Does anybody know in the third world country where they're going to come up with, let's just call it 2 million well-paying jobs where somebody can roll in and make, I don't know, let's just say $60,000 a year? Anybody want to give me where we're going to find 2 million jobs that make $60,000 a year that just popped up out of thin air? But how about this? I'm going to make it even one step worse for you since we're in the third world country situation. Let's go look at this. Okay. Let's go look at this. 2019. It's even worse because 3.9 million students graduated with at least an associate's degree. So they're including associate's degree and bachelor's degree when everybody knows associate's degree is not really a degree for you to do much. But 1.9 million bachelor degree candidates, then followed by 989. So this 3.9 number for 2020 may not be correct, right? Oh, this is even better. But my point I'm trying to make is that whatever the number is, let's just use the simple one. Let's say 3.9 million graduated in 2020. 3.9 graduated in 2019. That's 7.8 million people. Anybody, I'm pretty sure everybody here knows there are no $7.8 million jobs that has opened up in the last 2 years. We all know that, right? We can't be acting foolish out here. You know that. Okay, how come that didn't come up right? But anyhow, if you know this, and I wish I could pull up the stats, and I didn't have you guys on screen to see it. I was going off on this little rant. But here's the thing. Let me see if I can find it again. Here we go. 2020, approximately 3.9 million students have graduated from some form of degree in the United States. How many people graduated? 4 million. Okay, 2021. 1.9, which is 2 million, were bachelors, and 830,000 was that. Okay. How many college graduates were there in 2021? 4.43. Oh, it's even worse. So altogether, we're just going to say 8 million. I'll just go with the associates thing. 8 million college students in 2 years. Anybody know where we got 8 million jobs that are high paying? More than, well, I don't even know. 60,000, not even high paying. Is it really? Come on now. We know that. Sorry to hear about the movers. Why they didn't honor the contract again and they kept a deposit. What the hell is that? Hell no. Tell them you'll be getting a call from my lawyer. That's all I could say. That's all that's going to happen. They know that. They already know that they're going to be sued. They know what's going to happen, but it's going to cost me more than what I paid them to sue them, which is crazy. Crazy. So I went the cheapest route first, which means trying to get my bank to reverse it. All right, New Jersey, New York, California, all the same, $1,500 for room. Exactly, not including first month, last month deposit, $3,000 plus move in. It's ugly. That's it exactly when you live in a third world country. Non-married name, Vanessa Wilson. Yeah, it threw me off there. So, okay, she's going non-married name now. All right. Eric, you're passive, your asset, a derivative of US. OCs better get with the program, passive income. That's it exactly, ladies and gentlemen. That's it exactly. Hey, Eric, Denzel used that tagline in the movie Malcolm X. Ah, there we go, Laverne. Thank you so much. I couldn't remember what movie it was, but you're right about that. But I can't remember the exact tagline though. Hoodwink, bamboozled. And he had these three sayings. People have not got tax refund from 2020. Yeah, cities are late, states are late, and federal refunding money. Oh, yeah, it's late, all right. They need to hold your money as long as possible. They need to use that money. Laverne Penix. Fact. Vanessa Comagate, the married names in the house with the icon next to her name. Thank you so much for being here twice. I appreciate it. Please smash that like button. Curtis Davis, M1 Finance lets you borrow up to 33% of stock portfolio. Minimum amount, $5K. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And when you borrow money, make sure you put it in or buy assets with it. Don't go out here and buy trinkets. Don't go out here and buy depreciating assets that will not return you some revenue. Always go for return of revenue. It's going to get harder and harder, ladies and gentlemen. Let's face facts. The top 10% are no friends of yours, no friends of ours. Sure, there's some cool people up there, but they're not rushing down here trying to help ordinary citizens. They're not sitting here going, hey, man, you should give everybody like $25, $30 an hour. You make billions. Well, there's only 3,800 billionaires on the planet. But we'll go with the millionaires because at least there's 56 million of them. So somebody might know a millionaire. So 56, 57 million millionaires on the planet, and they're running corporations and all that. They could pay people what they deserve to be paid. Now, I copied something that I was going to actually put. So you set the payback terms on Celsius? Yes, Vanessa Comagate, there is no payback term. You get a loan and you could say, I want 24-month loan. I want to borrow $3,000 against my collateral. You don't have a monthly payment plan. They're just expecting you to pay the $3,000 by 2024. That's it. Nice and easy. Curtis Davis. He's bringing up one of my favorite dividend stocks. PSEC, ladies and gentlemen. Dividends come in handy with the stocks, especially when inflation's exploding. Oh my, pays 2 and Ford pays 2. There we go. Here's what we're talking about, just so everybody can see. These guys give up dividends. Right now at the $8.76 price point, the dividend is 8.22%. So you're earning that, and they give dividends every month, but it's still 8.22% a year. And OMF, One Main Holdings, 5% a year. And in light of inflation being 15, again, it's going to be rough. Let me go check something out. Let me go see what my boys are doing at AM. 8.43%. That's AM stock. And then let's see. Did he mention one more? Ford. Ford gives us smaller. Wait, whoa. Ford doesn't. Wait a minute. Ford's giving out dividends again? They're feeling good? 1.59%. They're feeling good? Oh my, I didn't even notice. Ford just hit 100 billion market cap. Oh my. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. They did say they wanted to be in EVs by what, 2025? All EV by 2025. Good. GM said the same thing. Good. That means they're going to make it happen. They're just a good to roll up with too. These are stocks, ladies and gentlemen. So Mr. Financial just dropped some gems. We've talked about these in the past, but the past is the past. These are still good companies to invest in today. And you're still going to come out ahead because you're going to follow the trend of the future. Congress people, Chris Michelle or Chris Michael, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Congress people can trade stocks and have access to information we, the regular people, don't have access to. There we go. And they're in the top 1%, by the way. That's why Congress people and representatives in Congress and the House of Representatives, this is why they get to grow their wealth, because he says it right. They go into meetings, which are allegedly confidential. They can't come out and tell the general public, but they know about it and get on the phone and call their broker and say, hey, dump this stuff or buy this stuff. Insider trading, legal again. You don't think you live in a third world country when you have your representatives being able to be bribed, or I mean campaign contributions and all, and they get insider trading for any activity economically. You think that's cool too? It's not illegal apparently in the United States. All that's legal. That's a problem because that leads you into your third world territory. Nobody has a jurisdiction on them. Nobody's checking on them. All right. Let's see what we got. Got YouTube notification in YouTube notes. Oh my, Curtis Davis finally getting YouTube notification. Anybody else get YouTube notification? And did anybody see the trailer? Let me know. All right. I got the notification and saw the trailer. Oh, there we are. Maria Barnes saw both tonight. This is a good sign. There's been two people. And oh my, it's Gino Scimiente. Welcome to the Friday night live stream, SSN Nation style. How is everyone doing tonight? I just got back from Italy, sold property there. Gino Scimiente. Oh my goodness. Selling property in Italy at the height of the market. I would just call it perfect timing. Perfect timing. And by the way, since Gino Scimiente's in the house, this is the man right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's the man that says, hey, I invest in the stock market. It went up 30%. I'm out. I'm selling. I'm not trying to. I'm taking my 30% and running. When you still thinking about it, ladies and gentlemen, 30% in a month or two or three or five or six and not over 2 or 3 years, that's why he takes the 30% over the short term versus wait 30% over years. It's very smart, man. That's what he's doing. Now he's on the real estate, talking about he sold in Italy at the height of the market. And with that, I was going to talk with Obsidian Lion, the code keeper, and everybody else here that mortgage interest rates going up. This is insane. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Fear of even higher mortgage rates may be heating up, of course. Here we go. This is January 12th. I'm going to go to bank rate right now. They said it's going down, but it's not, which is very, very interesting. Let's see here. 30-year fixed, 3.52, still reasonable. And never mind about the arms and all that. There's people right now who are going to mistake and get an adjustable rate mortgage. Sure, 2.73 looks nice, but if they start increasing the interest rates, You will not have a 2.73% arm. All right, just keep that in mind. So don't fall for that. Now, maybe I have the wrong info, but this is interesting. They say rates went down. No, rates went up a little bit. Not yet. All right. Can't find the article that I was looking at earlier today. I just Googled it. But nonetheless, this is what's going to happen because we live in a third world country. It's going to happen now or later. All right. So, Eric, so are you still moving to free country of Florida? Of course. Free country, all right. Let's just call it a side trip right now. Right? Yeah, all I was doing anyhow. I'll just do some personal stuff right now. All I was doing anyhow was I was just moving my stuff to Florida and I was putting it in storage. That's all I was doing. So it could be in storage in Cali or storage in Florida. Either way, it didn't matter. But now I'm just leaving it in Cali because this brings up a whole nother thing. Here's the subject matter that came up at hand. Since it's 5 digits right now to move from California to Florida, and since I found out how they operate, I should have mentioned this earlier. Anybody have a 50-foot trailer and a truck? Because if you are USDOT and you actually have a truck and trailer, please contact me because opportunity is here and galore. And if anybody does rental service or anything like that, please contact me. I need to rent your truck. And I mean business-wise. Because after this little adventure with these moving companies and finding out half these dudes are brokers, all they do is take a fee and then they turn around and call somebody. And those people that show up are not under contract with them, apparently. So they can change up the rules. When I find this out and they're giving up and people are paying 5 digits, I'm like, okay. So anyhow, the guy called me today and he's like, hey, man, we can work with you on this. I said, you're not working with me for nothing. I said, simply, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a guy that finds cracks. And unfortunately for you guys, I just found a crack because now that I know that you can charge people $15,000, $20,000, $27,000, $32,000 to move from California to the East Coast, I was like, I damn sure can find me a truck and a trailer somewhere that somebody's going to rent me. I mean, it's rentable in America now. Hell, you can rent real estate. You can rent damn near anything. You got Uber drivers. You got Lyft drivers. You can do part-time rentals on anything. Surely there might be somebody sitting around that has a truck and trailer and is like, well, I ain't going to Florida. I'm not even hardly using my truck. And I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind a $5,000 to make things happen for just driving, not loading the truck. We'll get a crew for that. You're just going to drive the truck. I think we can do some business here. So let me know if somebody has a truck and trailer that's reliable and can go for 3,000, 3,500 miles. Because I'm like, man, I might even have to start being in the trucking business now. Well, not really the trucking business, moving business, because the profit margin is insane. Insane. So anyhow, story's going down. I'm leaving my stuff here. I'm still going to be down in sunny Florida. All right. That's what's going to happen. I thought I didn't receive notification because I was logged into Wilson, but I did receive it via Comagate. Thank you so much, Vanessa Comagate. I appreciate that. Navient student loans just canceled debt 1.8 trillion, but I'm not sure which schools. Tech bogus schools. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I got family stuff going down. My cousin passed away a few days ago, as you guys know. I mentioned it about a week ago, so they're having a memorial tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be a Zoom because you guys know people really can't travel when they're a little older. All right. Bogus tech, bogus schools, Navient student loans. Just wait, is Navient? Hey, I got to go look this up. Is Navient a government loan? It's not, is it? Let's see. Uh, Federally backed? I don't think so. How your student loans can qualify for 1.7 billion of student loan forgiveness. All right. Oh, there it is. That's a question. So see, there's a difference. If it's backed by the federal government, it will not be canceled. So that's why they have a little problem, apparently. Some are backed by government, some are not. Andreen Miller's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night Live Stream. Thank you so much for being here. And with the icon next to your name, nice to see you again. And whenever I see her name, that means I got to talk about this is SSN Nation, SSN Academy, SSN University, and it's the No Guru Zone, ladies and gentlemen. There is no courses to sell. That's just how we roll around here. All right. They got me. Yeah, they got me. Yep, I'm still owing. Exactly, Andreen Miller. Unless you have a Navient loan, apparently they canceled some people's. But yeah, that's how they do us. They had you all believing about going to college, get a job and all that. Then when you graduate, you're finding out, hey, where's all these jobs at? Then you realize, wait a minute, there's millions of people that graduated, millions of people in my same field. There are not millions of jobs. There's not even a couple 100,000 of the same jobs in this field in America. There's only 50 states. And all 50 states don't even have the same salaries for the same job. If you live in one of the higher priced cities, like Chicago, New York, California, you generally get paid higher than if you lived in the Southeast because cost of living is higher. But they don't have 10,000 jobs in every state every year. That's going to be a person where a person could be making $8, $9, $10,000 a month. There's not that many jobs at $100,000 a year to begin with. And I don't even know what the number is, but I'm going to tell you what we're going to do right now. I'm going to tell you guys what we're going to do right now. How many? We're going to Google. Google's funny. Okay, we'll go this way. USA. They're not going to tell us, are they? They're not going to tell you. How many $100,000 a year jobs are there? This is funny. Imagine that. This is actually no shock to me. No single job suits all of us, but they're not even about to say a number. Okay. Let's go this route. No, that won't work. Won't work. They won't tell us. They won't tell us. How many job openings are there in the US? 11 million. There's 11 million jobs available. So we'll go a different route. So this will make sense a different way. So if there's 11 million jobs available, and they range from low paying to high paying. And there's 4 we'll call it 5 million, was it? We'll just raise it up. 5 million people a year graduating. They didn't hire all 5 million last year. They didn't hire all 4 million the year before. They didn't hire 4 million the year before that. So all these people who graduated 2, 3, 4 years ago, they have the same, they're looking for the job too. But they're like waiters, just like a starving actor, right? They're like waiters. They're like doing these odd jobs because they can't get the job that they went to school for. Or they can get the job they went to school for, except the employer is selling them a lower salary. And you're saying, well, I can't live off of whatever that salary is. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking pay for the kid's education. And then when the kid get out of school and then you look at the kid and you're like, hey, how come you don't work in the field that you went to school for? Now you know why. Maybe because a couple 100,000 people graduated in the same field and there is not a couple 100,000 jobs available. And never mind about the people that graduated the year before. Never mind about the people that graduated the year after. All those people are looking for the same job. So it's actually more than 200,000 people looking for the same job. It could be 1 million people looking for the same job. And that is where the school situation came into play, because if you knew it was a crapshoot, hell no, you wouldn't have signed up for student loans. It's a crapshoot. Hell, you had a better chance of doing your own business at 18, 19 years old for 4 years than going to school in a degree that's not one of those high-end, high-paying college degrees at a high-end college, like a Harvard, a Yale, or whatever, USC, UCLA. These have cachet numbers, Stanford, Berkeley. Those schools have their privileges, but those schools are exclusive almost, and they cost you an arm and a leg. So remember, oftentimes when somebody's trying to lead you down a path, it may not be the correct path overall. At first, it seems like the right path. And then when you finish the path and get to the end, you're like, whoa, I owe $60,000 in student loan. Some people owe like $150,000 in student loan. Some owe more than that because they had to go through what everybody knows. Go get that master's degree, because if you get that master's degree or that doctorate degree, then you get to make a lot more money. Oh yeah, okay, well, student loan debt's 150 G's. Crazy. Third world country, ladies and gentlemen, because if you lived in a first world country, then you would have things like, free health care for your citizens, free college, Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry. I blew it again by clicking on all kind of screens. Why don't we let me show you, and then I'll get off of this college situation. Let me show you something. America, first world country, does not give their citizens free college. So look at this list. Look at this list right here. This is very, very funny. This is funny to me. Germany, as I told you about, France, Luxembourg, Austria, Czech Republic, Norway, Iceland, Sweden. This is hilarious when you look at this. Look at this list. This is insane. Free college, Finland. So they got the top, they got 9. So I don't know about you guys, but first world countries would be given free health care, free college. But the fact is, USA is doing none of that. But can we get another 3.5 trillion for the tax cut and tax break to the wealthiest? Because they already have, they already own 1% owns more than 70% of the population, right? In wealth numbers. So we're going to give them the tax cut and tax breaks. We're not going to give the people that need it the tax cut, tax breaks, right? Unbelievable. 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 All right. Let me get back into it. Let me get back into this. All right. Gino Shimiente, congrats. Welcome back, Gino. Exactly. I still made money in the stock market as a money manager. Exactly. Gino, he coming back. Lamb Research up 6.1%. Your stock. That's exactly right. He kept saying, get that LC, what is it? LCR. All right. Victor Marrero, Celsius loan interest rate is 1%. However, this interest is for 25% loan to value collateral. So, for example, if you borrow 10K, that's 25%. You must have 40K worth of coins parked with them as collateral. So because I'm sorry. Yeah, he mentioned 1%. The promotion for 0% was for California citizens at Celsius Network. I forgot about that. I guess they're not at zero. And here comes another Russian in the house messing with my algorithm. I appreciate you because that'll give me my 3 or 4 Russians in the international field because there's never any international people that watch SSN Nation according to the YouTube. All right, Victor Facts, good capital allocation, Celsius Network. Welcome to the trucking side, boss. I will check with a friend of mine. Thank you so much, Vanessa Kamagate. All I'm trying to say is let me know if he wants to rent his truck or find a way or drive the truck. He doesn't have to pack up or nothing. He can just park the truck or park the trailer. I'll have people load it up, and then he's driving to wherever these people's destination is. And on the other side, I'll have the crew unpack it. And now we have a return trip back, and we'll have another deal, another load, hopefully over in that area. Or not. If he wants to drive back, then I'll have to pay that. But either way, I'll be making enough where it won't even matter. So we'll see if there's a deal to be had. At Gino Shimiente, welcome back. Any property left for sale in Italy? I am making plans to move to Italy 2 or 3 months in 2023 after I unshackle my feet. Call that my second retirement. Gino Shimiente, Victor Marrero, he's like sitting here plotting for the last 10, 15 years. He's like, okay, I got my properties over here. They're making me money. I can actually live anywhere I want. So I'm going to go to the DR over here, get me some more, make some more money. Then I'm going to go to Italy and have a nice long retirement. We can all hope for that. Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that, boss. Condolences to you and your family. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gino Shimiente. Today, you need to take profit is not going to be easy as it once was. Exactly, Gino Shimiente. We got to take profits immediately because you don't know what's going to happen, day to day anymore. Because the feds, all they have to do is make an announcement when they didn't even say they were going to make announcements, and things can change. On edge. Thanks, Marrero. Details. There you go. The whole student loan just delays. You wait it out and don't include outsourcing. Adds another dimension. People can't get jobs. Exactly. What does this look like? You go to school, they guarantee you nothing. So you go to school, they guarantee you if you become, what did he call it, cum laude, or one of the top in the class who gets to wear the nice colors on their robe and gowns and stuff, more than likely you're going to have a nice, well-paying job. But there can only be so many of those. But if you're not and you're an ordinary citizen, sure, you can have a 3.9, 3.5, 3.8, whatever. But now you just graduated and you might be able to have a nice job too. But then you have a whole nother subset who might have a GPA of 3.2, 3.5. Now they're in the mix with everybody else. And furthermore, even the cum laude crowd, there's only so many jobs available even for those people because there are over 200 Division I schools, another 200 Division 1A, then you have Division 2, 3 NAIA. So I forgot about all those college graduates and all those number ones, number 5, number 2 in the classes. All right. And Gino Shimiente says it all. The government lies to people about jobs. Exactly. There's a map shows 100K jobs are only in 6 or 8 states. Florida, New York, California, Washington, Virginia, and Curtis Davis. That makes it even worse. No wonder it wasn't coming up on Google, because if there are only like 6 or 8 states out of 50, 100,000, oh my. Oh my. That's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That is not good. I'm just saying, this is the whole point of this conversation tonight. America, USA is a third world country. You just don't know it yet. And all I want to know is, does Navient really have a choice? They can either cancel the student loan debt or never get paid for the student loan debt. Either way, they're not going to get paid. You cancel the student loan debt, I think I have one big ass tax write-off. 1.9 trillion, did you say? I might not have to pay taxes for 20 years. In fact, I'm just playing around, but let's go check something out. Navient profits for the year. There we are. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the number. Here's the thing. Start thinking like a business person. Let's say you have $1.9 trillion worth of loans that people aren't paying. As a business, you get to do tax write-offs. And now we see Navient's annual revenue has increased 21% from 2016 to 2017, 174 million to 211 million. That's in 2017, but they don't want to talk about what their actual revenue is for the last year or two. We're going to try and see if they show it. All I'm saying, though, is, ladies and gentlemen, if you made $1 billion, you might have a taxable event. So what better way not to pay taxes for 20 years? Gino Chimiente might be able to shed a few light on this since he was the money manager. So it's worth it for them to dump some money, just like if you owned a business and you get assets. Let's say you got that $50,000 3D printing machine because you're into the printing business. You get to write it off depreciation, right? Now, just like when I gave the example before, where Walmart still leases buildings and then goes and builds a new building in the same city, and they are blocking new competition, and they get to write it off because they're still leasing the building, even though it's vacant. Lots of companies do this. So there's many different ways as a business that you can actually shave off your taxes, but it helps if you have hundreds of millions of dollars or millions of dollars coming in. Maria Barnes. Hey guys, as you know, Laverne Penix and me will be in Punta Cana this Sunday. Maria Barnes going to be in the 80-degree weather to check on our investment in Vistacana. Maria Barnes, I did not even know you were on the list. Or are you with Laverne on this? Do you guys recommend Uber or taxi to move around? Okay. Here's what I recommend. I'll put it this way. I arrive in Punta Cana. There's going to be a few people, if you don't already have it set up, there'll be a few people milling around by the cafe asking if you need a ride. So some of these people are independents, meaning just independently, like a driver driving around. So you can choose and pick, or you can choose a taxi or whatever. But all I'm saying is that's when your negotiation, and that's when you find a driver when you're at the airport. Because the conversation is going to be, I need somebody to drive me around while I'm here. Then they'll give you a phone number or a WhatsApp number to text them. And then you find out what the rate is for them to take you around. And usually I can't remember the rate. It was so cheap. If it wasn't so cheap, then I would have remembered the rate. It could have been, I don't know. I can't remember. I just gave the guys like, I can't even remember. It must have been $20, $10, five. I don't even know what it was. It was minimal to take me around to go check on some property areas, to go to the grocery store. Because remember, when you're out and about, you got to stop at the grocery store and they'll wait for you. So I think in fact, I remember one occasion, I did give the guy only like $20 or something. Grocery store, bank, waited at both locations. And it was from El Cortecito to downtown. So I gave him like 20 or $30. So, but if I didn't do that, it must have only been 10 or $15. But keep a guy's number on your WhatsApp. All right. That's all I did. I don't really call the taxi or anything. I just get a guy's number. So then that way, the next day when I wake up or the night before, I'll text the guy and go, hey, man, can you pick me up around 9 a.m.? And I need to go to places. That's how I do it. All right. So Maria Barnes. So you've been silent and I did not know, or maybe if you told us before, I do not remember. Where did you invest in Vistacana? That's what I want to know because I don't remember. I didn't lock you into my brain on that. So let me know. All right. I haven't shown any videos tonight and it's Friday night. I don't have a new video, but okay. So remember I told you I was moving and look, I found some stuff. This stuff has been like hidden away. Haven't seen it. So I'm going to show you guys. Let's see. I'm going to only show a picture. These are not even, well, I don't know if I have DVDs on this. I'm sure I do. But here you go. I'll give you guys two things because I'm going to add it. I'll give you two things. Okay. One, most people know where this is. Well, maybe not because it's not an aerial view, but most people know where this is. If you don't know where it is, let me know. Most people know where that is. And since I'm there at that location, then they're street performers. And for whatever reason, I'm doing street performance. I get picked out of the audience. And look, I'm involved in the street performance while I'm there. So I'm pretty sure some people know where this is. So let's see what she says. I invested in the wave with Laverne Penix. We are an item. Oh, Maria Barnes. All right. All right. All right. I love it. Congratulations on your investment at the wave. But you know we have follow-up questions here. Which wave did you get, though? Did you get the wave in Laverne Penix? Was it the one with the jacuzzi bottom floor? Well, let me know for sure because I can't remember everybody's. But, or was it, no, Laverne Penix, second floor, actually. It wasn't first floor. Second floor, wasn't it? So anyhow, let me know which unit and let me know which lucky price you got in at because you know prices have gone up. All right, Maria Barnes, first option, coordinate a private driver like Eric said. Second, rent a car. Third, Uber. Fourth, taxi. Do you know anyone on the island? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the method. My method is, since I'm not doing rent a cars in third world countries, developing nations, I'm not doing that. I don't do rent cars there. I don't rent a car in Mexico either, so they're not considered third world, but I don't rent cars in Mexico. I don't rent cars in the Caribbean. Other than St. Martin, I rent cars. Do you know anyone on the island? Thank you, guys. Australia, get it, boss. Exactly, Australia. Yep, the Opera House. So I got to give you guys a little story. Before I went to Australia, the way the buildings look, I thought they were so cool, right? I thought they were made of like sails material, canvas. I thought it was like a canvas pliable material. Then I get to the and I didn't realize it was the Opera House. I was blown away when I get there and they're like, yeah, this is the Opera House. I was like, where's the sail thing at? I don't even know what it's called. And they're like, the Opera House. I'm like, opera? You mean like music? This cool building is for freaking music? Seriously? So anyhow, I get up to the building and I'm looking for something so I can show you. Yeah, in fact, I still have the Hard Rock things here, but it's similar to this almost. So I get up to the building just to go check, and I'm thinking I'm going to see this sail material, this cloth or whatever. I get up there and I see these little squares like this. But this is rectangle, but it's a little square about this size, though. It's freaking ceramic, or what I call it ceramic, but it's these little squares of ceramics, literally like 3-inch by 3-inch or something. The whole sail, all the white stuff is little 3-inch by 3-inch ceramic squares, blocks. I was like, you got to be kidding me. All right, here we go. We got 1 bedroom, 2nd floor at $79,900. Yes, 2nd floor. I did remember fine. Yep. Okay. $80,000, 1 bedroom, 2nd floor. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Congratulations. Congratulations. Laverne already knows I said congratulations when they mentioned it before, but I didn't realize you guys were an item. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Our real estate agent is picking us up from the airport, Maria Barnes. That's cool. But yeah, while you're at the airport, just check with a few people and get some WhatsApp numbers. So then that way, when you're there, you're going to tell them, hey, how much, you can always do on WhatsApp. I need to go someplace. How much? Like I said, it's so minimal. I can't even remember what it was that I paid. Like I said, I gave somebody $10, $20, I don't even remember. It was minimal. All I know is it wasn't $50 or nothing like that, because then I would have said, that's not going to happen. Yes, the acoustics is grand. You ain't lying. It's uncanny. Whole different setup than any opera house in the United States. It's wild. Oh, and they have a bar and on the side of the opera house. In fact, where did I put those pictures? Damn. On side of the opera house, they have restaurants. And they never even show that in hardly any of the pictures. You'll see these umbrellas on the side of the opera house. And so the opera house is not even that big. They have little chambers in each. It's crazy. It's crazy. It blew me away. I was like, no way. So this beautiful, iconic building. Let me see if I have something else. Man, I threw oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me see. Nah, from this, I have other pictures I'll have to show you guys. I just pulled those out. All these pictures I'm going through are not even from Australia. Or I have more, ladies and gentlemen. I get around. Now I can't even find the Australia pictures. Oh, here we go. I'll see if I have something else, but I'm going to run an SSN lifestyle video. All right. So let's see what we do here. Let's go with what number? Let's go with talking about the islands. Okay, Philippines.
Come on, come on.
right, ladies and gentlemen, SSN Lifestyle. I do not have a link down below, but you can go ssnlifestyle.com pre-launch. All right, this will be my next picture. This is it. Right here. Luna Park. It's in the on the bay in Sydney, Australia. It's across the water. San Francisco used to have an amusement park on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. That's how this is set up. On the iconic bridge that you see for Sydney, Australia, along with the Opera House, on the other side is Luna Park. Same thing, amusement park on the other side, on the edge of the cliff of the bay. Same thing as San Francisco. All right, let's get into it. We're 1 hour, 55 minutes in. I have moving productions to do tomorrow to exit stage left. Unless it changed. Last time I went to Australia, there were a bunch of street performers around the Opera House. Exactly. Beautiful area around the bay with the Sydney Bridge at the distance. Exactly. Exactly. In fact, I didn't even want to hang out anywhere else. It was so cool. They have all these people, like she said, doing street performances. And actually, some of them, I don't know where they worked at, but they were actually professionals doing stuff that was incredible. And then they have a water taxi system that is unmatched, unparalleled anywhere in the world, where you can literally just jump on a boat and they'll say, okay, we're going here, and you'll be there in like 5 to 10 minutes. Or take the slow road and go, okay, I'm going to go this one that takes me around and tour the bay, and it's cheap as hell. Again, I don't remember how much. It was cheap as hell. All right. You're a world traveler. Nothing better than that. You got that right. Like I said, again, there's something to be said when you try to create passive income and you're actually doing that, then you can be anywhere in the world when you design your life based on anywhere in the world. So if you're going to be on the internet, you can be anywhere in the world. And since I'm on the internet, I don't have to live in Cali. I can live anywhere in the world. So that's why a little more pressure didn't unfold when the guy came and started talking about these prices, right? And I'll go back to something. Vanessa Cumagate, thank you. I'm going to go back to something. When you have money coming in and different ways to make money or borrow money, then you may not have pressure. So here's the key questions. Think of this as a sales talk right now. Qualifying your customer. So from a mover standpoint, one of their first two out of three, the first three questions when you call a moving company, they're going to say, okay, where are you moving from, or where do we need to move you to? So they're going to ask you the zip code, area codes, or get an idea, moving from a house, apartment, where are you going to, another house, whatever. The next question after that, more than likely, is going to be qualifying question number 2, which is the most important question. How soon do you need to move? When you set up how soon do you need to move and the person goes, everybody answers because everybody doesn't think anything of it. They go, well, we sold our house. We have to move out by whatever date. Let's call it the 15th because tomorrow's the 15th, right? We got to move out by the 15th. Right then and there, they already have you because now they're like, they have a deadline. They have to move. So therefore, I don't even have to give them a deal. They have to move out. That qualifying question is what all salespeople should do to get them into a situation. Now, if a person goes, I don't have to move until 3 months from now, they're still going to want to lock in a contracted price for you so you can't go shopping and go with somebody else, and they still want you to make a deposit with them. That is how they do it. So remember, as a salesperson, you have to actually qualify your customer and figure out what niche you're going to be able to fill for them. But here's the thing. Most people, they go, okay, I'm going to move in 2 months. I need to get a spot ready. They're still going to say, okay, we know they have a deadline. So as long as they know you have a deadline, they can screw you. So when I told them, they go, "Hey, when do you have to move?" I said, "Well, I want you guys to come over here around the 13th or 14th, so then I can get everything all cleaned up and don't have to do anything like that." So when they came over here, they didn't realize what I can do. They didn't realize what was going on. They were just like, "Okay, he's got to move to Florida." So now they're thinking, "Oh, he has to leave this place, has to go to this place over here, so he has no choice. So we're going to raise the price $5,000 out of thin air." So when I told them, I said, "That's not going to happen." And then the guy responded with the only thing a mover would. "Well, don't you have to move in the next couple days?" I said, "Yeah, I do. But my furniture can be anywhere on the planet. I can be anywhere on the planet. So you can go. I know you're not going to help me." And then I had to turn around and make ulterior moves, right? So I turned around, and so I just called another company, and they said, "Okay, we're going to send 3 people to your house and move it over to storage in California for only $400 or $500." I said, "Cool. I'll deal with moving my stuff anyhow." My stuff was going to go into storage in the first place. So whether it's stored in California, New Mexico, Alaska, it would not matter because I'm not going to move it into the place. So they miscalculated. They thought I was one of these people that had to move to another location for a job or whatever. I was like, "Dude, I can be anywhere. My furniture can be anywhere. That's not where I need to be." So that's why we had to do all that. My previous moves involved a pre-inspection where one of the agents came to my house to access what was going on in the truck. Didn't they conduct such an inspection? That's an interesting question. No. Okay, I'll put it this way. No in-person inspection. So all except one company did. I'll put it this way. Allied came to the house, did the inspection. This dude, before he even got past my downstairs living room, this dude, so let me explain. Here's all he saw. He saw living room, 1 bedroom, dining room, family room, kitchen. That's all he saw. He started going, "Oh yeah, this is going to be like $27,000. I said, "I have stuff in the loft. I have another bedroom upstairs." "What are you talking? You're already talking 27 grand and you haven't even seen the upstairs loft area and another bedroom?" Even though there's hardly anything up there at this point, but still, you haven't seen that. And you still haven't seen another bedroom and another office area. And you're already talking 27 G's? I was like, you can go. Clearly, this will be 30 some G's. I was like, I don't think so. Bye bye. That's nuts. It's great to have freedom papers. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. Freedom papers. And so, yeah. So, in fact, while we were doing this live stream, I contracted, what did I say, 550? I contracted, actually, it's going to be 440. So I got 3 guys coming at 9 a.m. in the morning. They're going to take it over to storage. The storage guys gave me an offer where you get your first month free. So I was like, okay, so instead of paying 5 digits, I'll pay 3 digits. Then I'll get in my car and drive one of my cars to Florida. So there's going to be a road trip. So I gave you guys tonight heads up. I'm going to be doing a road trip. So now I'm going to be doing some video and some live streams from US of A. I don't know how many places I'm going to stop at, but generally it'll be probably Phoenix. After that, it'll probably be somewhere in Texas. Then after that, I'll probably stop in New Orleans and got to get me some gumbo and go to Mother's and make sure they put the Cali special on the menu still. Or if they haven't, I got to rekindle that, make sure they get the Cali special breakfast on the menu in downtown New Orleans. So I'll probably stop there. And then from there, it's a crapshoot because it's a long way to South Florida. So, yeah, that's the best bet until you can get a better deal. Exactly, Vanessa Comegate. That's what I figured. 440, I should say 550 maybe. So it depends. I might need them 5 hours, but either way, 440, 550. And if anybody wants to go through some numbers, because let's face it, always my mind thinks numbers. So ultimately, I was like, I can just do this myself, go get the U-Haul truck. But then after was looking at the U-Haul truck and do the mileage, I was like, okay, that's 128, I believe it came out to $128 for mileage, fuel, and all that stuff, and some blankets and things like that. 128, 130 bucks will round up. Then I was thinking, okay, I'll get 2 guys. Well, guys that do moving who are just independents, they start out at $25 per person per hour. So I was like, okay, $50. 6 hours is 300. So that's 430 bucks. And then if I did 7 hours, that's 480. I'm like, okay, 7 hours, they might be able to move all this stuff. No problem. I'm helping out too. I'm sweating tomorrow. So then I was like, wait a minute. These other guys charge $90 an hour, except they include the truck. So then I was like, okay, that's for 2 people. Then the guy on the phone, when I was running the videos, that's why I had to stay on the phone, because I told the guy, I was like, well, I don't know if I really need a third negotiation. And then he's like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 3 people for 110. So automatically my thing starts saying, okay, an extra person means less time. So basically, once I got to 4 hours for 440, that's the same as me going to get 2 people, go get the U-Haul truck, be subject to all the charges, meaning the mileage and the gas that I got to put back in. And if I run over and I miscalculated and it ends up being an extra 50, 60 bucks, now I'm at 500 bucks anyhow. So to me, it was worth 440, 550. 3 people, faster time. So we'll probably get it done in probably the 550 territory, I would estimate. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't see a problem with it. But either way, it's either going to be 440 or 550. And yeah, Victor Marrero, 30K. Are you kidding me? Hell, give me 30K and I'll move you myself. Exactly, Victor Marrero. Exactly. 27K before he even finished downstairs, before he went to the backyard and saw the loungers and the fire pit and the fireplace and all this stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then when we started leaving, he's like, oh, yeah, this might have been $30-some thousand. I was like, people pay you $30-some thousand to move? He's like, yeah, all the time. I was like, that's never going to happen. I was like, I'll go buy a freaking truck if I got to pay $30,000. I'm sure I can use that as a down payment and be in business. That's insane. Yeah, exactly. Have you considered selling most of the stuff there? Travel lighter, buy new stuff when you get to Florida. Yes, Victor Marrero. Exactly. I did think of that. So I put some things, Marketplace, Craigslist, whatever. Well, of course, you know how that goes. It didn't go too well. Didn't go too well. And I priced stuff at, let's put it this way, everybody wants what they can have. I priced stuff at 50% of what you can go and buy this stuff for right now. 50% still wasn't good enough. And so then after that, I was just like, okay, forget about it. I'll just put it in storage. I'll redo this. But in the meantime, because of this newfound business opportunity, I figured I might as well find out over the next 30 days if there's a way I can get a rent-a truck or 53-footer and get a driver and have them drive from coast to coast. Hell, I did the numbers. Here's some things we'll talk about. Check this out. Check this out. Google calculator. So when we start doing numbers, because this is a business, right? We want to start a trucking, well, not really start a trucking business. I want to borrow a truck is what I really want. But let's do it this way. Let's go 3,900 miles divided by 10 miles per gallon. And that's 390 gallons, right? And let's just do something crazy. 390 times $6 a gallon, which it's not, but I'll say 6. And I did it again. So, okay. That's only 2,340. We'll round up 2,350 in gas. Worst case, because gas isn't $6 for a gallon. So anyhow, so I'll allocate 2,500 for that. And then on each side, I'll have a crew. How much am I going to pay the crew? That's a little variable. But let's just say the crew, I'll be generous. Let's say the crew, it takes them 6 hours to unload the truck. 7. Doesn't matter what it is. Either way, let's just say we have 3 people, right? And 3 times $100. 300 times 7. 2,100. This is more than generous. I'm not going to pay people 100, but I'm just going numbers above and beyond. On each side, 21, 21, and 25. All right. So we're at 42 plus 2,500 plus 2,100. There we go. Now, then I'm going to go, I need a truck from somewhere. So here's the point I'm trying to make. These are the numbers that are out here in California that Vanessa Comegate's talking about. These are numbers. These are real numbers. He's right. My friend's mom moved from Cali to Denver and paid $40K. Those are real numbers. So if I can somehow get a truck with a trailer of 53 feet or, well, I don't even know if there's 46-foot trucks or what. I don't know if it's 40, 46, whatever. Anywhere near 53. Not only can you possibly take more than one load, you might be able to take 2. But this 40K number is for Denver. That's not even 3,000 miles away. That's probably what, 1,500? It's crazy what people are paying to have their stuff shipped. So if I have an all-in price of $7,000, $8,000, I wouldn't even care if it's $9,000. We're still having numbers where people they're going to pay $16,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. Plenty of profit margins. And the way things look right now, people would be happy paying $13,000, $12,000. So if I can get something in the 8,000 all in, 9,000 is definitely don't want to be at 10. But if I can get it in single and 4-digit territory versus 5 all in, then it's all day. It's on, because then I can charge people the $14,000, the $15,000. They're getting prices of $27,000. It's just crazy. 550 versus 30K. Exactly, Curtis Davis. But in my case, 550 versus $16,000. Crazy. Yes, foolish people spend $25K on moving. Yeah, or $16K, in my opinion. I mean, ultimately, I might have to do it, but here's the problem. Speaking from an entrepreneur perspective, the problem is this. When I went and looked at Florida U-Haul, and I saw that I can rent a U-Haul for $1,500 to come all the way, a 26-footer to come all the way to Cali and drop it for a one way. Then when you look at California to Florida, and I saw $9,300 for a 26-footer, I was like, oh my God, where can I get me a freaking 26-footer even? But I don't want a 26-footer. I want to be able to charge people 15, 20 grand myself. She had them pack, load, and drive. Exactly. For 40K, they better be pack, loading, and driving. But that's the whole point. They're trying to charge that kind of money. They're getting that kind of money. Scary, scary stuff. Yes, I know the deal with Craigslist. You get clowns that want you to give them the stuff for free and will love taking you to the cleaners. Only a few are serious offers. Exactly. Exactly. Craigslist, Marketplace, OfferUp. There's not many places you can actually put your listings, but everybody wants stuff for free. So I was like, look, um, I'm kind of Cali doesn't want to let go on the good taxpayers. You got that right. I don't know if you were on that night, Victor Marrero, where I did a live where I showed California was losing X amount of people. And I'm going to show it tonight because since we live in a third world country, people should see this. Here we go. How many people left California in 2020? Okay. I don't know about this Trump administration halting new visas and all that nonsense. What the heck? That's crazy. Here we go. 58,000 people moved away in the third quarter in 2021. This number 29,000, I don't know what that is. It's more people than that. They're saying in LA County, let's see here if they actually give real numbers. California, 59%. If this is true, California has what, 22 million people? That would be 5 to 10 million people. That's crazy. That's crazy. So they're not going to say right now, I see. It's definitely more than 29,000. So I'm going to use 58,000 people, okay? So I'm going to do a different calculation today. Average wage in California. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Average wage in California is $30 an hour. That makes it $62,000. This is very sad because this is poverty level in Cali. I'm just going to say what it is. When you have mortgages of $2,000, $2,500, when you have to pay your real estate taxes like anywhere from $7,000 to $12,000, when you have to start paying for cars, if you have like 3 cars, you're going to pay over $1,000 a year in registrations. And then you got roughly 7. I'll be generous. 7 to 8% of that 62,000 is going to be taxed for the state of California. So that means the person really doesn't make the annual salary of 62 grand. That means that's lower. 50, you're around 56 after just that. So you got your state taxes. So anyhow, if we go with the average 62,000, right? So just bear with me. We'll get back to the calculator. 62,000 times, what was that? I forgot the number of people. 58. I'll round up. 59,000. What's this number, ladies and gentlemen? That's 1, 2. Is that 3 trillion? Damn. 3 billion. 1. Okay, so that's 8 million. Okay, $3 billion, $3.65 billion. All right. Okay. Times. I'll just do this. Make it easy. What's this number? $292 million. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the number's higher than this, but just for giggles and grins, $292 million is no longer in the state of California's franchise tax board system. Gone, left the state. And since the number is more than 58,000 that have moved out, what if it's double that? What if it's triple that over the last 2-3 years? That means the state is bleeding money. We're going to be at over $1 trillion in lost tax revenue. That's serious. Pension people, government workers, you will not have jobs long. There's no way the system can support it when you're missing out on trillions of dollars in tax money. All right, here we go. Halftime. People are paying convenience cost to move, plus family are charging it to corporations or military. Yep. Yeah, Vanessa, true, but 40K investment, it's worth 80K in 2022. People got to get smarter. Exactly. Exactly. There you go. Cali doesn't want to let go of the good taxpayers. Exactly right. I had to repeat that again. They have no choice. They have no choice. The cost of living here is outrageous. They have no choice. People are moving based on the fact you get more for less. I mean, you get more for less. More for the cost of less, yes, money-wise. But California is missing out on all this tax money. The tax money is moving to other locations, raising the prices there. So people leave Cali, go to Denver, go to Idaho, go to Florida, go to Southeast. And so since we're used to high prices, people are paying extra for homes in these other locations. People there are a little upset because now their cost of living has went up, not realizing it's all based on demand. And because you do have a state that is less in taxes, less on properties taxes, state taxes less, sales taxes less, that adds up to ordinary citizens to an extra $500 to $1,000 every 2 months actually realized in your pocket. That's a lot of money over the course of a year. It gets crazy, but we live in a third world country. That's why California, largest economy in U.S. or job creation in U.S. That is true. California is a country by itself. I agree at Curtis Davis. Exactly. People going to Texas, raising taxes. There you go. I don't even know what the situation is in Texas. Somebody here in Texas, Texas Constitution forbids personal income taxes. But total sales taxes are 8.25%, Cali-esque. Except in Cali, you're going to be paying 7% sales tax, and then another, well, you're supposed to be paying about 10% state tax damn near. So let's see what they say on the Google. But that's why people are leaving, going to Texas. See, this is something's wrong. You know something's wrong when Google won't even show the California state income. Oh, sorry, I messed it up. Here we go. Yeah, you know something's wrong when they won't even show the state income tax rate straight off. Good grief. Well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. It's a progressive tax, just like Arizona. The more you make, the more you have to pay. But this 12% stuff, that's crazy. That's real crazy. Okay, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now you see why people are moving. Because in this state, you make more money generally, right? So this is, see, progressive tax rate. Remember that 10% that I was talking about? Yeah, it's pretty serious. Pretty serious. So this is outrageous. This is outrageous. And so if you do over 600,000 a year, you're paying 12%. All right. This is why people are leaving. And so you can see right here that just a simple move to Nevada, Texas, Florida, and you make this money, because most people that make this kind of money, you can be anywhere. So why are you going to claim California when you can save yourself 30, 40, 50, 60 grand a year? And never mind, look at this here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Look at that 61,000. Look at this. You guys don't understand. It's 2,695 plus 9.3%. See, this is what you're not understanding. This is like more. It's crazy. So remember that average wage was 62,000? And so now you're finding out that after taxes, the state of California dips in their toes. The federal tax still hasn't come out yet. So you not only have 10% coming out of your pocket, you got to deal with the federal still at your $62,000 wage. So take off another, what is it? 20, 12, another $10,000. So your $62,000 is the equivalent of 40-some thousand dollars. Now you see why I'm upset. Now, I didn't have it on. Now you see why I'm upset, ladies and gentlemen. Home prices rises in Texas based on new price people because Cali people. Exactly. Same thing that happened in Nevada. Property tax rates up. Exactly. Eric. And of course, you're changing the resident state, correct? It won't count until 2023 for tax year 2022, but that's okay. Victor Marrero. I've already done that. Remember, my business is in Florida. So residency's already been established, which is the cool part. Once again, another reason, oh man, let me get on screen for this. Victor Marrero. Another reason for this Dominican Republic situation is the same thing. We need residency there as well. Because you never know when that might come in handy, but unfortunately, they do taxes there. Yeah, I know. I realized I didn't have the screen on, and unfortunately, it was way, way too late. Unfortunately. But anyhow, let me get back to it, because people didn't see this progressive tax situation in the state of California. So now you guys don't maybe you understand a little bit more, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to pull some. Let me go back to this. I'm going to go with the 62. Wait, hold on. Let me do something else. I'm going to go with $100,000 just to prove of a little point. So you make a decent wage in California, $100,000. A lot of people have to. And I'm going to go to the calculator. Where is it? So we're going to look at this. Now you're going to find out why people are leaving. We have 100,000. Then the state tells you, hey, Eric, we want 2,600 plus 9.3%. Oh, sheesh. Okay, 9.3%. And then I got to go after this short little thing here. 9,300 plus 26, something like this. That's $11,914. So effectively, my salary is $89,000. All right. Now, and 100,000. Now, here's 100,000. I'm just going to use this is single versus married, but we'll go with single. But we'll show you this too. So you make 100,000. Let's see, where are we? All right. So you can see here you're going to be in the 10, 12, up to 40. Then you'll be at 22, up to your 100. So it drops in buckets for this. But nonetheless, your effective rate's going to be 10, 12, 22. So what is that? 34, 44 divided by 3, 11, 10 G's, something like that. So effectively, 20 G's is gone. So you basically have 80 G's out of your 100 G's. So you had the bright idea that you were gonna buy a house. So you bought a house, right? So I'm gonna run this whole game down. In fact, I'm gonna make a video about this. So you bought a house, and depending on what county you live in, oh, hold on, let me do this. I don't know what the average price is in Cali. Oh, Jesus. That's insanity. Okay. Okay. Jesus. $727,000 is the average price. Okay. Holy Toledo. All right. Okay. So I'll do oh, Jesus. I wasn't expecting that, quite frankly. I thought it might be over 500, but I didn't think 727. Let's call it real estate taxes in California for $700,000 home. Now, this right here depends on what county you're in. So they do 1.1, 1.17 in certain counties. Other counties, it could be 2%. So it all depends on what county you're in. So I'm trying to think. My old county was 1.5. So anyhow, I'll use a simple number. We'll go with 1. How about this? Let me go look at this. I don't know what it is in Orange County. It could be high. Orange County, 0.69. I don't think so. They say it's 0.69 in Orange County. That's unheard of. I don't know where that is. But okay, I'm going to use 1.17 because I don't think it's 0.69 in Southern California. But anyhow, I'm going to go with the calculator. 1.17 is what, 8,000 a year? Something like that. Where's my calculator? We're going to run this whole thing. I'm going to make a video about this too. All right, 700. I'm going to round up. I don't care. 750,000 times 1.17 equals $8,775. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So out of your 100,000, you've already had to give up 20 due to state of California and federal income tax. Now, because you had the bright idea of buying a house, you're going to pay another $9,000 for your house tax. Let's just say 30,000 is gone. Oh, but wait, I'm not done yet. Okay, so now you're down to 70. Okay, we won't even get into a mortgage. Okay, mortgage. We'll get into it. Mortgage calculator. How about this? 727,000. Oh, does that say $3,500, ladies and gentlemen? You know what 3,500 times 12 is? Anybody? Yeah, that's like over $40,000. All right. And the reason why I'm going to call this 3,500, I'll tell you in a second. I'll do it. Hopefully I have this on screen. That's $42,000. You guys paying attention to all this? So now they spent $42,000, and the reason why I went up to $3,500 is because I just include your insurance for your house. All right, so that'll make it $3,500. So that's $42,000 a year out of your 70 grand. That leaves you, what is that? $28,000, $2,000 a month in essence. But wait, there's more. You still have water, sewer, and garbage of like $150 a month. So another $1,000 gone. So now you're down to $27,000. Oh, but wait, because you live in Cali, you're going to have 1 or 2 cars, maybe 3. And if you have 3, your registration is going to be over $1,000. So now you're down to 26 or 25,000. Oh yeah, you still got to go grocery shopping, and groceries ain't cheap over here. And gas is $5 a gallon, $4.90, $4.75, $5.20, whatever they feel like. Don't forget that. We haven't even gotten to the fun and games that we got to go play, right? You got to go to eat out and they occasionally, right? Maybe the movies, maybe something. So anyhow, you're down to roughly having about $24,000, $23,000 left over to go have fun. And I'm pretty sure I left out a few other things that'll knock it down even further. But now you reverse all that. You go to another state, okay, Florida, Texas, whatever, Nevada. You will go to these states where there's no state income tax. You immediately gained back $10,000 just from the state alone. You immediately gained, because you're not going to have you don't have to pay a registration for cars of freaking $300, $290, whatever, $400. And you don't have to smog. So if your car ever comes up for smog, you don't have that fee either. So you automatically then saved yourself like $11,000, $12,000 potentially. So when you start thinking this way, you realize you are in a third world country. You're getting taxed to death, beat up to death while you're out here working your behinds off. Average tech workers make $140K per year, no reason to stay. Exactly. Eric, back in the day, I'd stay in Cali for 5 months to keep my taxes low. Exactly. Diesel Mike with the icon next to his name. Welcome to the SSN Nation. I know you already were here, but I'm saying it again because you've been quiet this evening. The nice weather can't be the only reason. Smog, bumper-to-bumper traffic, fires, earthquakes are common there. Yeah, in SoCal, because everybody thinks Southern California is California only, but SoCal, yeah, fires, tremors all the time. Weather, though, see, that's where the thing is. That from in Southern California, there's only 2 places that have that weather on the planet. You can't beat it. It's 80 degrees damn near all the time. And with the ocean breeze that comes in, it's like unmatched. No humidity. It's unmatched. Never rains hardly either. That's why the fires. But it's unmatched. And people are willing to pay 1.5 for a 1,700 square foot house. I mean, I don't get it. Kenneth Carson in the house. Thank you. I see that link. That means another Russian propaganda machine. This is painful to watch, fam. Vanessa Comagate. Hey, Vanessa. All these years when I lived in Cali, the funny thing is, I didn't even care about it, didn't think about it. It was like I love Cali and all that, except lately when I'm in Florida and I'm realizing, wait, I don't have to pay this. And again, it started adding up. When I went down to register vehicles and they started talking about, oh, that's $100. I went down to register my trailer. They were like, that's like $50, $40, whatever it was, minimal. I was like, wait, I would have paid hundreds of dollars today. I'm only paying like $110. I'm like, hold on. And then when I filed the taxes, um, when I filed some paperwork for the LLCs, then the guy goes, "Oh yeah, you have an LLC. You don't have corporate tax in Florida." I was like, "What? Wait, what?" I was like, "Okay, this is getting outrageous." And then of course, when you go to the grocery store and the grocery store prices are a third, then you go to the gas station and prices are a third less. Now all of a sudden it starts adding up, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, wait a minute. This is getting outrageous." So a person making 100,000 in the state of Florida, they still have to pay federal, but 10,000 of that is still going to be in their pocket, or 11,000 is going to be in their pocket. That's $1,000 a month in your pocket because you changed states. Never mind about all the BS property tax nonsense and the registration of vehicles and all that nonsense. All right, so I went off into another tangent on why America is a third world country and California is Exhibit A. Roman Empire taxing their citizens into oblivion, meaning their citizens have to leave. And now, since they leave, the taxes mount up. They're at $1 trillion that they're not going to have because people have left over the next couple of years. It's their fault. They didn't want to change. In fact, all they want to do is add even a little more 0.5 tax here for that or the other, depending on the county and the state. Mike, it's the largest economy of jobs, but taxes has to maintain it. It's bogus. Exactly. Painful, but true. Exactly. Mike, I lived in both San Francisco and LA. Cost was more doable. I like San Jose, Santa Cruz better. Curtis Davis, you haven't checked prices in San Jose and Santa Cruz area lately. You would be shocked. My aunt lived at the Candy Streets, Gumdrop Drive in San Jose. I believe it was a 3-bedroom. It might have been 2 baths, the old L shape, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,200 square foot home. It's worth over $1 million. Like $1.5 million. A home that she was able to buy for $40,000. Now $1.5 million for a 1,200 square foot home in San Jose of all places. Unbelievable. Mike, some of the best places to live in SFO area was 1.2 million homes or rent $1,900 a month. So North Cali, nice, but cost eats you up. That's correct. And so the same thing happened because we're moving into that third world. People sold their homes in the Bay Area. Then they moved to Sacramento. And that's how Sacramento home price, or actually the whole corridor, Fairfield, Vallejo, Sacramento, Vacaville, all this whole Central Valley, Modesto, that created a problem. They sold their houses for $1 million, then come over here flush with cash to buy houses for 300, 400. Can't do it anymore. That's when it all started. Prices used to be here. You used to be able to buy a 3,000 square foot house for about, this is like about 25 years ago in Sacramento. Used to be able to buy a 3,000 square foot house for about 150 grand, 170 grand in a good neighborhood. Then when people started getting these crazy prices about 20 years ago, well, a little over, in the Bay Area, $1 million for these flat little homes, they said, hey, I'll take the $1 million, go buy a 4,000 square foot house for $275,000 and have, all this money left over. 600,000 left over or something. And the rest is history. So people were exiting from San Francisco, Los Angeles, going to all these other areas where homes were, 3 times as big as their homes for a third of the price. It was crazy. So that's how the prices in California all escalated. And then more people moved to California paying these stupid prices. And then they turn around and sell their house. And then they go and buy another house in Cali. So it was their own little ecosystem until the ecosystem breaks. And that's when it happens now, when now your tax base is left. Nobody's staying to rebuy homes to keep the prices up. People are saying, hell, I'm going to move to the ATL. I'm going to move to Florida. I'm going to move to Idaho, Denver. It doesn't matter, Texas. I'm moving to these places where I can sell my $800,000 house and go get a $400,000 house, $350,000 house, and have hundreds of thousands left over. I'm not going to do that in Cali anymore because now I realize I make $100,000 and you guys are taking damn near, after everything's all said and done, I end up with 60-some thousand. It's crazy. Crazy. Facts. I'm seriously looking into leaving. This inflation is nothing to play with. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. That's the other part of the equation. Due to our third world country status, by printing money and not caring that we have $30 trillion in deficit, that creates inflation, which now means, keep in mind, she said it exactly right. It's painful to watch. Keep in mind, after we got down to what, $26,000 out of our $100,000 ends up being like some sort of disposable income that we can use. Think about this. 15% increase in prices. So start thinking about, I didn't even add in the 15% increase in price. So now you don't even have the 26 left over. You're down to something like you got to add like another $4,000 or $5,000 after that, down to 20,000 disposable income left over now. So out of 100. So now you see why the middle class is getting wiped out. You're getting wiped out, ladies and gentlemen. 100,000 is not going to cut it if you live in certain states. That's why all the people who make even just 100,000, they're sitting there going, let me move to Texas. Let me move to Nevada. Let me move to Idaho, Montana, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi. Well, I don't know what Mississippi. Nobody says I'm moving there. But Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, places like that. Because immediately your 100,000, you just added 10% to 15% of the value back in your pocket. Florida is similar to Cali, minus the mountains and with added humidity and sex. Yeah. Here's the thing. If I thought Florida was cool as Cali, I would have moved to Florida a long time ago. Remember, I'm a Gator at heart. I went to University of Florida for 2 years. Well, not quite. 1.5 years. All right. But that's the problem with Florida, quite frankly. That's one of the things. I don't like critters. And the thing about not being able to swim in the water without having to worry, which, well, I don't swim in the water in Florida, but in Cali, lakes, rivers, streams, water, all good. You don't think about, hey, don't get in the water. Those manatees roam around, really not really hurting people, but them big things are in the water. Crazy. Almost 3 hours in, ladies and gentlemen, after been going on a rant about a lot of different subject matters tonight. It's just been open, but please smash the like button because I got to get back to moving day tomorrow to get some things out of here. So this background will be gone next time you see me. In fact, I'll be in another location. So all's going to happen over the next few days. So on Monday, I won't be at this location more than likely. All right. But Florida is not. Yeah, they got humidity, critters, infrastructure is built different. Yeah, there's a few things that is just off the wall, but it's cheaper. Eric, facts. I was there 2014. It's more now. Exactly. Oh, it's a hell of a lot. Mike, the Cali coast, beautiful, no humidity. Ventura, Malibu, Santa Barbara, Half Moon Bay, it's gorgeous. Highway 1. Oh man, don't even say it. Pacific Coast Highway. Um, yeah, you can't be beat on that front. That's why people love Cali, because the Pacific Coast Highway is a nice little ride. Santa Barbara is a nice little city that you can just chill at. Malibu is a nice spot. Half Moon Bay, another chill spot. Man, that's why Cali got people to come here. But Cali wasn't exorbitant like it is now. There was pockets. People could live in cities like a Sacramento. They could live in like a Fairfield, like a Vacaville, like a Vallejo. And at that time, homes were inexpensive. So then it was worth it. But now when the whole state has average price of $727,000, you're limiting how many people can move here and how many people can stay here. They're doing a double-edged sword with these high home prices. So now you're not having people come here, and you're having a bunch of people move out. So you're not even getting the tourist dollars that you normally would have, because once people get here and they get their rent a car, all of a sudden they go to the gas station and they're like, does that really say 5 something? They're like, is this for real? Then they go shopping at the grocery store and they're like, wait, this thing that I bought over here where I live is $3. Why does this thing say 5? All of a sudden, they're just like, this is not right. So now you're having people run away. We're moving to Florida next month. Rick Chavez, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Can't wait to leave Cali hellhole of liberalism. Okay, Rick Chavez, I'm not going to make a political statement, but actually, political situation has nothing to do with it. Remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Republican. Remember, Ronald Reagan, Republican. And lots of others, Republicans, governors in this state. There's lots of counties in this state that are Republican counties. California, and the votes generally as a demographic, it's a Democratic state in blue when there's a federal election. But when you look in the pockets, there are plenty of counties that are red, and they run their counties like they want to run them. But they can't escape the tax, the gas. You can't escape that, period. And all that was set up. Okay, I guess I will get into it. All that was set up like look at this. Look at this. Proposition 13, right? June 1978. Well, wait. Yeah, it was around the late 70s. So just to give us a point, I don't know who the governor was, but we'll look it up to see if there's any. Jerry Brown, Democratic incumbent. Under him, he agreed with them clowns to do Prop 13. Now, back in the day, it was supposed to roll back your real estate taxes, right? Declared were be assessed at 1976 value, restricted annual increase, not to exceed 2% per year. Well, back in 1976, most homes were under $100,000. So when they said not to exceed 2% per year, that was no big deal. We're only talking about $100 here or $30 there, $40 there. They never envisioned that a house would be $700,000 on average in the state, meaning people are going to pay $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $12,000 a year in tax for your real estate. So this used to be the Jarvis Gann, I believe. What it was starting out was, but anyhow, just to let you know. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. $1970 to 2020. Let's see. Yeah. So look, look, or Schwarzenegger, 8 years, Republican. Gray Davis, 4 years, Democrat. Pete Wilson, 8 years, Republican. Duke Majian, 8 years, Republican. Do you see? So see, it's not really party affiliation. All these guys from 83, let's go even 70s. Look here. Ronald Wilson Reagan, Democrat to Republican. So look at this. Start with 1967. You still have, well, I don't know what this is really, but we'll just say we won't count. We'll flush that out. We'll just say 1, 2, 3, 3 Republicans and 1, 2 Democrats over the last 40 years. So 3 Republicans, 2 Democrats over the last 40 years. So I don't know if a party affiliation actually has anything to do with it. But I will tell you one thing, if I start talking about something, I will tell you one thing. So you know that guy Ronald Reagan is a Republican, right? You know that guy Ronald Reagan, when he was in California and when he actually became president of the United States, he did the tax cut, tax breaks. That was the war on the middle class. And by doing that tax cut, tax breaks, so they're giving money to the wealthy and not giving tax cut, tax breaks to the lower class, the middle class, Operation Middle Class Wipeout was initiated by him. So what do you do next after you do tax cut and tax breaks? Here. All right. So don't get me started if we start talking about party affiliations. Here, I'm going to put this in. Ronald Reagan War on Middle Class. So, what do you do next? I'll tell you what you do next. Here, before we look, I'll tell you what we do next. So, we have a certain population, like 15 to 20% of the population is unions. So what do you do if you're really trying to have a war on the middle class? Hey, man, we got to remove them unions, because once we remove the unions, the worker doesn't have any protection on getting any increase in wages, no health care, no Medicare, no coverages that traditionally a corporation would have. Don't have to have any sort of 401ks or pension funds. So that's what we do next, because we're the Republican way. We want you to be in a right to work state. Why do we want you to be in a right to work state? Because if you're in a right to work state, you're going to work for anything. And when we fire you, you ain't got jack nothing you can do about it. Unlike if you're in a union, you get fired. Now you have to deal with the union rules. You just can't roll in and be like you're fired and roll in and be like, hey, today we paid you $10. Tomorrow we're going to pay you $8. So if you really want to get into this party affiliation, Mr. Chavez, I can start talking about what one party and another party does, but I will say Republican Party specifically doesn't want unions, doesn't want high wages, doesn't want to give any tax cut and tax breaks to ordinary citizens. They're giving it to the top 1%ers. So what else do I want to do if I want to have a war on the middle class? Their mission has been accomplished. Preferential income tax treatment. Oh, well, we already know that. Here's what Reaganomics did. Now, what else am I going to do? Here's what else I'm going to do. Let me get it back on screen. Here's what I'm going to do also. I'm going to tell you that we got to go to war. We got to make sure we give billions of dollars to the war machine. You know who's going to go over there and fight these wars in the Middle East? Vietnam? Bone Spurs is not. The guys at the top, they're not. They're going to have deferments. They're going to be in the Coast Guard, like Bush, right? They're going to somehow dodge it. Meanwhile, the farmers' kids are going over there to fight. The minorities, Mr. Chavez, is going over there to fight. You're getting drafted, my man. And if not drafted then, you're going to volunteer sooner or later. Why? Because you don't have jobs. You don't want to get paid $7 an hour. Why do that? Get paid $7 an hour, be in the military, at least get free housing, at least get free education. And now you're going to go over there and risk your life. But the top 1%ers, top 10%ers, the guys you're giving the tax cuts and tax breaks to, those guys that get tax cuts and tax breaks, their kids ain't going. But wait, didn't they get the tax cuts and tax breaks? How come their kids aren't going? When you really think about it. Shall I keep going? We'll keep going, but I guess I'll be banned again. I'll be banned for that little rant right there. All right, we're moving to Florida. Can't wait to get out of hellhole of liberalism. All right, the cold ocean in Cali versus West Palm Beach, Florida. I lived in Palm Beach for 6 months. There you go, Curtis Davis. There you go. The Pacific Ocean is no friend of mine. I never went swimming in the Pacific Ocean, ever. Pacific Ocean off the coast of California. Let's put it, I'll change it up. Because I have been in Hawaii water where it was nice and tropical. All right. I lived in San Diego as a child. I don't remember much of it, though. Diesel Mike has changed dramatically. Hell, home prices. Look, I went to San Diego about 9 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. And I used to hang in San Diego a lot more when I was younger. So about 20 years ago, I went to San Diego. It used to be my private playground. And again, you guys know I gave you the Tom Vu story. My friend owned a modeling agency in Carlsbad. So I had every reason to go down and hang out and visit him and visit other people. But I'd go Carlsbad, Oceanside, San Diego, Mission Beach. That was my little hangout area, that 30, 40 mile right there. I'd stay down there for a couple weeks or longer. It didn't matter. But at the time, home prices, even in those locations, it wasn't anything crazy. La Jolla had the crazy prices. Everybody else, okay, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot house, 250, 350, 400,000. No biggie. If you had ocean view in the hundreds, up 600, 700,000 expected. So then I went from 2010 or 11 or something I went. So I'm driving through the neighborhood at Carlsbad and I go I'm looking for a grocery store and GPS took me to the wrong place. So what happened, I was in a residential area and I was like, okay, this is wrong. But then all of a sudden I saw like on this street, there was like 4 or 5 homes for sale. And then all of a sudden I actually started paying attention and one sign I saw 1.1 million. I was like, okay, that's a nice house. It had gates around it, looked on a little upper on the hill. I was like, maybe they got ocean view. Next house, 1.3 million. Next house, 1.4 million. Next house, 1.2 million. I was like, oh no, all these houses that previously I knew only sold for 300-400 grand were now 1 point something. Then I go down to Mission Beach, and on the way to Mission Beach, all these old, beautiful homes that are sitting there right as you go there. All of a sudden, I see numbers like 3 million, 2.5. I was just in shock. And then when I drove around in San Diego, homes started being $1 million. Every house. I was like, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. All right. So I went on my little rant. I'm going to get banned again. All thanks to Rick Chavez talking about the liberalism hellhole. But in all seriousness, I am serious about this tax cut, tax break nonsense, war on middle class. And California having more Republican governors than they did Democratic over the last 40 years. I don't know what liberalism means other than tolerance and well-being for all citizens. So the problem in California has nothing to do with political situation. It more has to do with when you tax your citizenry like the Roman Empire, you're going to fail. And no matter whether it's Reagan, Schwarzenegger, Gray Davis, Jerry Brown, they did not stop any taxations on the citizen. They always raised the taxation. And so if you fault somebody and say, hey, I want clean water, I don't want fluoride in my water like in Florida, let's say, right? So fluoride in your water, it hurts you as a human. So a lot of places in lower non-tax states, they're not going to do anything with their water supply, right? I'm not saying all of California doesn't have it either, but all I'm saying is they created laws to have clean water and things like that. But by creating those laws, they're taxing you more. It's because the state makes no money. Governments do not make money. So where are they going to get the money from? They're going to tax you. So then you want to have these beautiful highways and you want to, have people clean up on the side of the highway and do all this stuff. Well, when you go to DMV and pay your registration fees, you're going to pay more than every other state. The Golden State, that's what you're known as. We want our bridges, roads, and all that to be cool, but they're not. So they're taking the money and they're using it for other purposes. Not a good thing. So mismanagement of funds. And of course, you can bribe the senators here at the state capitol as well. There's that. So then when you start going, hey, we want to have clean energy, solar and this, that, and the other. Well, you guys come up with any new efficient panels? No. Okay, we'll give you a tax cut, tax break for that. Well, you're going to spend 30, 40, 50 G's for panels? No. And then they do the unthinkable. So again, this has nothing to do with political. Then they say, we're going to make solar energy only communities. So you really think people want to chime in and pay an extra 30, 40 grand for their house because they have solar panels on there? So all this stuff just keeps adding up. But back to liberalism, as you call it, if you want people to get a fair wage and not have a right to work state, I'm going to tell you something right now. If California turned into a right to work state, the average income of what was it, 61,000 or 58,000? Whatever it was around 62,000. It would plummet because right to work states, they can pay you whatever they want. And by the way, I found out for the first time because I was hanging in Florida. It blew me away when people started saying that their employer can just do anything. Yeah, the right to work state. When they started saying, well, my employer said I can only work 25 hours this week. Next week, I'm working 35 hours. And then the people can just fire you. And I was like, wait, there's no etiquettes at all? They're like, no. Well, see, there's a difference in a right to work state versus not a right to work state. You're going to have to pay if you just roll in and be like you're fired. But in right to work states, I don't know what their rules are. They also have things in right to work in Florida that blew me away when somebody goes, I'm calling off. When somebody told me that they work somewhere and that their employees were calling off, I didn't even know what they were talking about. I was like, what is that? And they were like, oh, that means they were supposed to come to work And then within 20 minutes before they were going to show up to work, they called off. I go, what are you talking about? You would be fired. I mean, you could do that in places I've worked in Cali, but try to do that 2 or 3 times and with a, a week or a month or 2 months, you'd be fired. And you would not be getting unemployment neither. So that blew me away. I'm like, wait, so the guy's going back to work? And this is insane. So again, I don't know. Sometimes it's worth paying more and having all these things, but when you mismanage the money, it doesn't matter who the government is, because the state of our United States of America, the third world country, the same thing. You have Republicans in charge, Democrats in charge. Neither party walks in and goes, guess what? You're going to pay less in taxes to the government. We're not going to give all these subsidies to, the oil, gas industry, and give us subsidies to Tesla and Apple and Microsoft and Walmart. Nah, we're going to give that subsidy money, those billions of dollars, we're going to put back into the population, into the school system, into the after school programs. Oh, healthcare and all. Man, I'm going to be banned again. I'm going to be banned again. This is crazy. Eric, the economic professor. Yes, breaking it down. Pelosi, Newsom, Smallwell, Arnold was a rhino. Oh, my God. Rick Chavez. Even if he was. Again, let me ask you something. Under whether it's Democrat or Republican, what has changed in California? California has an ecosystem. High taxes has always been a thing. Also, that's been a thing. Big time companies always have been in California who pay people more than in other states. So, depending on whether you're Republican or Democrat, what would you do different in California? No Republican or Democrat did anything really different. Just like if a Republican or Democrat moves to Florida or Texas or any other state, Georgia, what would change? Do you think a Democrat moving to another state is going to vote to add to pay more taxes? I don't think so. When you're out here in California, you don't get to really vote. It's not like they go, okay, yeah, you guys want to pay 10% in state income tax. So I don't think people are going to be rolling out to Texas and Florida and Nevada and all that going, hey, you know what? You guys, you got to put something on this ballot so we can pay an extra 1% for state sales tax. The state advocates might add something like that, but the people aren't. Now, if people are stupid enough to vote to add in taxes, vote to add in more registration fees and all this stuff that we got going on in California, then that's how it's going to be. But I don't think people are going to be doing that. I will say one thing, though, and I do say this, the employment situation, by not having unions and all that, that has hurt the overall general population in all of America. That is actually the downfall for America, and I'm going to show you something. Look at this. It's not that many, but I'm going to show you. The numbers aren't really major. But I'm going to show you this number, and then I got to run because we got some things. I put in 1950. So in 1950s had successfully organized 1 out of every 3 non-farm workers. Okay? 1 out of every 3 non-farm workers. So remember, between 1950 and 1980, that is like the peak prime time for United States economy, job growth, income, all of it. All right? Now, look at this. They're not going to show. Oh, here we go. Never mind. That's 2000. Where's 2020? Oh, sorry. Here we go. Let's get up to 2020. Here we go. Union membership decreased 428,000 in private sector and showed little change. So I don't know. Here's what you call liberalism, the birthplace of many national labor movements. California hit its unionization peak in the 1950s with 40% of the workforce. All right? So this is what liberalism, that you call it. I'll take this every time for ordinary citizens. Higher wages, medical coverage for your job. I'll take that every time, all the time. All right. So now in 2018, 14.7% is in Cali. Now, look at this. Look at this. 14.3 million people. I don't know what date this is, but this is just getting worse and worse. Worse and worse. It's somewhere around 9 million people are in unions and all the workforce in America. Let me see if I can get the actual number, though. Let's see. The percentage of workers. Oh, maybe this is up to date. It looks like 14.3. So we're down to 14.3 million out of all the United States workforce. Traditionally, we have 180, 160 million people in the workforce. So we have less than 10% is in the workforce. I mean, is in unions. So you tell me that's a liberal situation. So you want people making less with less coverage and be in this situation? No, I don't. I want like 200. I want 100 million people to be able to get higher wages, have a safety in the workplace. You know, liberal and all. You know, I want protections. All right, I'm just saying, man. So the right wing and left wing are both attached to a corrupt and crooked bird. It's like good cop, bad cop. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Exactly. Now, here's the funny part that people don't know, because we live in a third world country and they're trying to keep it that way. Did you guys know Pelosi and Gavin Newsom are related? I know. Isn't that wild? I think it's like he's a nephew or something. It's crazy. Pelosi's husband, which they never talk about, millionaire dude. The family tree, and I think, in fact, I'm going to go to this because this is hilarious. This is hilarious. And I should have ran already, but I'll just put this up. You're going to find out a whole bunch of stuff here tonight. Gavin Newsom keeping it all in the family. Pelosi's son married William Newsom's daughter. Look at that. They just don't want to. They're all related. This is craziness. Okay. Distant family relation to the Speaker of the House. I don't care if you want to call it distant family relation. They're related. Here we go. Here we are right here. All these guys are related. It's crazy. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here we go. Gavin Newsom's grandfather was friends with Jerry Brown. So their families have known each other. I thought they're related too. I can't find the family tree. But these guys all are in power, all related, all concocting all kind of things. And so this is why, here we go. Let me see if I can find it. Anyhow, you guys got to look it up. Find it out for yourself. I can't find the articles I'm looking for, but you guys, what it appears to be is not what it appears to be. This is why the good guys, which are the bad guys in our case, the top 10%, top 1%ers stay in power. What do? You make your kids go to Ivy League schools. You make them become lawyers or in politics, judges. So then you can fix the whole lineup. That's what you do. Now, it has nothing to do with liberal or not. It doesn't matter if I'm a Republican, if I'm a Democrat, if I'm an independent, they all run the same playbook. All right, we'll stop. I'll be banned. The right wing and left wing are both awesome commentary. Lamont Fields, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for saying that, because I just now got banned, even more shadow banned by YouTube because I went on this political rant. But that's how it works. So when you start talking about liberalism and all versus what's the other side? Liberalism basically is what the GOP, they try to always spin things. They turn it upside down. It's the Twilight Zone. Without liberalism, you wouldn't have Social Security. You wouldn't even have health care insurance. All right. You wouldn't have Medicare if there wasn't liberalism, because the other side doesn't give a damn about that. That's why there is no health care coverage for everybody, because the GOP party will not participate in giving all Americans health care. So we're like a first world country, right? We're not a first world country. You don't have all your citizens don't have health care. All right. So once you start realizing, one side actually says, hey, we're trying to put things in place so it helps our citizens. The other side goes, no, we don't want to do that, but we want to spend $700 billion on our military industrial complex, but we don't want to spend $100 billion for everybody to have health care coverage. That's crazy. What's wrong with being liberal? You should want that. You know why you should want that? Because now you don't have to pay for health care, nor does an employer have to charge you for health care, nor does an employer in the business have to pay for additional medical insurance. That's get taken off the table. And you know what else is liberal? You know, because there's a lot of people that have jobs, right? And so they have to have their kids at a daycare. I don't know about you, and lucky for me, I didn't live in the era where daycare costs $300 a week, $400 a week, $500 a week, more than people make, damn near. So, yeah, if you call liberalism where they're going to put in a Child Care Act where people can not have to pay these enormous amounts on daycare and childcare services, yeah, okay, call it liberal. But the fact of the matter is, our society overall would be better, right? I think so. So when you're blocking everything that helps your citizens to achieve a better income, a better wage, a better life, you have to start questioning yourself. All these little colloquialisms where people go, well, you're a liberal. And Mr. Chavez, you just said, well, Arnold was a rhino. I'm like, I don't really care what the title is. All I know is if you ain't moving, trying to help the masses, the OCs, then you're on the wrong side. And siding with the guys that are trying to oppress your fellow citizen, you have to start questioning yourself, I would hope. Why am I siding with the guys that want to stop people from being taken care of? Why am I siding with the guys stopping people from getting a higher wage? Why am I siding on the guys who don't give a damn about none of that health care? Why am I siding with the guys that want to stop citizens from getting education? Yeah, like why West Virginia, Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi. Yeah, like all them states that education, they're like in the bottom 10. The more educated your citizens are, the more efficient they can be. So why are you siding with those guys who say we don't want people to be smart, we want them to be dumb? Dumb, low-paying jobs, no health care. Why are you siding with those guys? I'll side with the liberal guys that are trying to cover up and make sure everybody's better, that's trying to do better. I'll side with those guys all day, every day. I'm just saying, I'm about to get worked up. I'm about to get worked up. And seeing that I'm a minority in America, why am I going to side on the side of guys who sit there and say, hey, you know what? It's all good that I have these the oppressors' statues up all over the doggone place. And I got a problem with it. So let me ask you something. So slavery is not a good thing. Oppressing a certain segment of the population is not a good thing. But you want to keep up statues making these guys out to be heroes when they were actually oppressing people and enslaving people, and they're heroes, and you want to keep their statues up. You want to argue? I start suspecting, who are you then? You weren't even alive. Why do you give a damn? You should be the first one going, yeah, that ain't right. Them dudes were wrong. Let's take their crap down. But you know what happens when you're in a country that has oppression as their number one thing, and then you side with the oppressors. And with the last name of Chavez, you know good and well, when you go walking around anywhere in the United States, you're going to get this, go back to the country you came from. And you're siding with those guys talking about liberalism. Don't let me get started. I'm going on a rant now, ladies and gentlemen. We go political. You know good and well how many times you live in California and somebody goes back in the day, oh, there's a wetback. And I'm sitting there, listen to this. If you're going to call liberalism looking out for the oppressed, I'll take liberalism every day, all day. When my man's sitting there in the middle of the fields in California, back in the day, when the minorities were in the fields getting paid cents every dollar, the man said, nah, we're going to have some sort of signs out here. We're going to be out here fighting for your cause, Mr. Chavez and family members from 30 years ago. If you call that liberalism, I'll take it every day. All right? He fought against the farmers to make sure they got paid more. If you're with the oppressors, then you were good with the farmers paying people pennies on the dollar for getting their foods and crops out. Come on, man. Come on. If you're going to side with the oppressors, at least own up to being an oppressor. All right? Okay. LA is coming to Upland. Joshua Felder's in the house. I've been going on a rant because Mr. Chavez got me on this liberalism California thing. And I'm like, man, if you drop liberalism, woo, you done dropped a whole bunch of stuff off at the graveyard. Then you would not have nothing going down. You would have lower wages. You would have no health care as far as they're concerned. You wouldn't be protected with nothing. You wouldn't even have Social Security coming. You would have no pensions coming. All that would be gone. Kind of like what happens in those, Kentucky, West Virginia, where they take the teachers' pension money, and don't want to pay their state workers either. Yeah, kind of like that. All right. LA is coming up, and Joshua Felder says it all with the icon next to his name. I'm sorry I went on a Friday night rant. It's 3 hours. I should have been packing. I know I went off, but I'm going to be banned anyhow, like I always am. So I just jumped in the live. I missed the whole convo. Oh, you didn't miss nothing. I got a little political because somebody was mentioning liberalism. And then I had to start getting people, they got a little upset maybe, but I had to understand because of liberalism, you've been afforded some freedoms that you don't even think about The other side has been trying to block those freedoms that you have. And right now, those freedoms are in effect and they're trying to take them away. So if you call like what Obama tried to do with health care for all, first world countries have health care for all. Third world countries don't. That's what the subject matter started off. So you know the difference between a first world state and a third world state, right? Don't protect your workers. Don't give them health care. Make sure they don't have a good education so they're a dumbass and they'll believe anything that you tell them. Then they have to actually fend for themselves. Then they have to come crawling to me asking for something because they can't take care of themselves. And then after they crawl and say they can't take care of themselves, then the cycle repeats because those say, oh, you should be able to get a job. You should be fine. Go to work. Don't sit on your ass. Well, if you block the education system where the person can't learn, obviously they're not going to be equipped for the good paying job. All right, I won't get into the ecosystem, but this is America, a third world country. How do you make sure you want people to get to a third world country? You block everything that has anything to do with progressive. You're going to block anything that says, hey, you know what? Minimum wage has been $7.50 or $8 an hour for the last 40 years. So being liberal means, hey, man, I don't think it should be $7 after the last 40 years. How about if we double it? Because, you know, when things used to cost 50 cents in 1980, that same thing that's 50 cents now costs $5. So actually, shouldn't, if the minimum wage was $7 in 1980 and everything costs 10 times more, that means, shouldn't it be $70 means minimum wage? But no, if you want to be on the other side, of course we want $8 minimum wage, $10, so we can pay people $15 an hour, so we can make our billions of dollars. Amazon, right? Walmart. Why would you be on that side of the fence? Why wouldn't you be on the liberal side of the fence? So people get paid more and rightfully what they should do. So then therefore that helps all of us. If everybody has a higher wage and they have the education and they have health care and they don't have to worry about if they have children, how much it's going to cost them, wouldn't that help the society as a whole? That would turn you into a first world country. Whether you're liberal or not, that's what liberalism is to help your fellow man. California has faults, but one of the faults it does not have is trying to jack its fellow man. They jack their fellow man by a byproduct because they have no way to pay for all these nice services that they want. Because they're not a federal government, they're a state. So it's not like they can just print up money out of thin air and be like, oh yeah, well, we can't pay for it, but we're going to pay 700 million or 700 billion for the industrial complex. They can't do that. So what they did was, being a state that tries to take care of its citizens, the byproduct is you have to tax those citizens, unfortunately. And now the tax has gotten out of hand because it's so much higher than what the wages have increased. So if a person who used to make $70,000 a year 10 years ago is now making double that, okay, they're on the equal same amount playing field. But if you made $75,000 and now you're making $100,000, the playing field is not going to be the same. That's why everybody's leaving. Has nothing to do with the quality of life. It's the cost of life that nobody can deal with. 22 million people, I believe, is in the state of state of California, right? I think that's what it is. That's a lot of people. let's go see. I don't know what it is, quite frankly. Population of California. Oh, it's even more. 39 million people. Okay. Florida has 22. Okay, there we go. Florida's 22, Texas 29. Cali has 40 million people. It's a big state. So now California has run into their nightmare. Less jobs, less pay. The inflation is kicked in. People got to go. Eric, thank you for dropping facts. Thank you so much for Laverne Penix. All tides lift all boats. Unfortunately, it's sad all across the board. Exactly. Exactly right. And that's why I actually started SSN Nation, because more and more people are falling by the wayside and they're sitting there like, what can I do? And quite frankly, if all you ever were taught was go to school, get a job, you're not equipped to be an entrepreneur. And most people do not like math. And if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to know your numbers of some sort. So that is the problem. So if you're in a state that doesn't care about its educational system, and a lot of states are like that because it costs money to take care of, do education. So that's one of the things that they cut. But on the other side of the fence, if somebody says, if you actually had a real choice where people said, hey, we'll tax you, and this tax is going for healthcare for all, this tax is going for higher education for all, college for free, our nation would change. Those are all, which I guess people would call liberal, but shouldn't it be like Germany, Sweden? Shouldn't it be like that? College for free. Your citizens are going to be smarter, wiser, better. Also, that means your citizens can get higher paying jobs because it's a global economy. So think of it. When you go to a doctor, when you go to a hospital, you see all different ethnicities, right? That's because people from outside of USA come here to learn medical. Oftentimes they go back to their country, but some stay here too. So that is part of the reasoning why you should have higher education for free, because then you'll get your skill sets at a higher level. You'll deal with smarter people. You'll deal with new technologies, new innovations a lot faster. But when you start restricting how many people can be in a higher educational system, guess what? You restrict new ideas. You restrict new findings, because you're going to have the same old dude sitting there going, you can't cure cancer. You can't cure AIDS. You can't cure this stuff. Why even bother doing anything with that? We're not going to run any tests for that. We're not going to have any groups testing for any of that. It's not going to work. So you're not going to have the new blood. So all this stuff does come into play overall when you take 5-year, 10-year increments. All right, enough on the educational thing. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I got to run 3 hours, 38 minutes. It's 10 o'clock at night. I got some more packing to do. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why we have to keep pushing, ladies and gentlemen. Quality of life in the United States is not what your grandmother and grandfather got to live. We're going to have to live in a whole different society here. And I'm afraid restrictions and more restrictions are going to be coming, meaning they're going to be looking to take more of your money. They're going to be looking to pay you less. They're going to be looking to pay you less and make you pay more for all services. Therefore, you have no choice but to start thinking about getting extra money in your pocket. All right? I had unlearned what school taught me to survive in the real world. Exactly. School is fake. The books are fake. Look at it this way. This is the problem that I had in school. The guy gives me a book. Teachers give you a book. You go down and get a book. You look at the book and it says, book was printed. I'll give it a perfect example. Somebody in school right now will get a book and it says 2020, 2019. That's when it was written. So you're in school. So everything is known up until when the book was printed. So the last, let's say 2019 is 2021. Now you go, okay, it's 2 years later. A lot of things have changed in the last 2 years, but now I'm reading a book that was made before the last 2 years. Now, in my book that I'm reading, they're telling me about stuff that happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago, which is not even relevant right now. So that was one of my problems when I went to school, college, and everything. I used to have an discussion with my teachers. And they would be like, what do you know? Right? School is a joke to me. Joshua Felder, school is a joke. In fact, I used to tell people all the time, I said, you actually, when you go to college, you waste 4 to 6 years that you could have been learning whatever you love to learn and still make just as much money as if you went to college or more, because you would have already been in the workforce the 4 years that it took for somebody else to finish their college. So it's crazy. I had to become a savage and risk taker to get ahead in life. In fact, this is why a lot of people who drop out of school, a lot of immigrants who just get here with $10 in their pocket or no money in their pocket, that's why they end up being successful, because they didn't get brainwashed from 5 years old to 17 or 18 years old. Because during school, you're getting brainwashed with limitations. They're sitting there giving you a playbook that doesn't even really, it's not even real. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the top 10 percenters of the wealthiest and 1%ers of the wealthiest, some of them went to school, a lot of them went to school, but not all of them. So when you really start thinking about it, there's some people who went to school only because they were in the top 10% and they could afford it. And so therefore they were able to get higher paying jobs than ordinary citizens because they know somebody. Then there are people who went to school who don't know anybody who also got high paying jobs. So I'm pointing out it works both ways. But for ordinary citizens who go to just a regular school, like U of F, I call a regular school, right? Sonoma State, I call a regular school, regular college. You go to those schools, sure, they're known for certain things. When you come out, though, and you're in the real world competing, now you find out what you thought you were learning and what you were doing was worth X amount of dollars may not be worth X amount of dollars. Because your daddy doesn't work at Goldman Sachs, not a CEO of a billion-dollar company, not on the board of director of another million-dollar company. So you don't get those insider things that could happen. So you have to work in the regular workforce where somebody goes, say, Eric, you're going to make $70,000 a year if you work here. Even though we told you you're going to make 55, but we'll give you 70 because, hey, you're good in the open market. Okay, cool. But the fact of the matter is, I still had to go to school, right? And then I'm going to give you one last story because a lot of people don't know part of my story. So I went to Sonoma State. I played basketball at Sonoma State. I studied business at Sonoma State. That's what I graduated in. I received some sort of honor, which I still don't know why, but I received some sort of honor at graduation. I wasn't cum laude or nothing like that, but I was one of these people that got something on their certificate. So now what happens is I get a contract to go play overseas in France, $100,000 a year to go play basketball. And I told people this before. I'm sitting on my couch when my agent says, hey, this contract, this is sweet. You're playing Division I in France with the big boys, the Euro League. So then he goes, well, when you coming? I said, I don't know if I'm coming. And he goes, well, this is more than your teammates are going to be pissed. They don't make this much. All they want you to do when you get off the plane is shoot. So they just wanted me to be the scoring dude, be a Steph Curry type. And so that's a good thing normally for basketball, except there was one little problem. I'm sitting on my couch. I make $100,000 a year sitting on my couch. So therefore, when he said, I'm going to go work out, I got to go play basketball, I got to do all this stuff and make 100,000, the same thing, I'm sitting on my couch eating bonbons. I was like, hey, man, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. Dude was like, are you serious? I said, I'm not coming. I don't have to. Get those coins, guys. Don't be late to the party. The government will eventually stop printing money. Don't get caught with your pants down. He's talking about crypto, ladies and gentlemen. Passive income is possible with crypto. You might as well get in. Now he said Upland. There's upland.me. That's a place that you can go. This is the new metaverse, which is real estate. This is another way that you can actually get out of this third world country and get into another dimension and actually buy property cheap right now there, buy stores, buy little places in the community, you know, bus stops, train stations, all this. And he mentions ISO 2022 is here. That's XRP, that's IATA, that's Algo, UCDC. I think that's USDC. Those are coins in the crypto sphere that the government, United States government, is going to use. They blocked the coin list, Eric. Are you serious? What? Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean they blocked the list? I don't know what you mean. So I'm looking XDC, Algo. What is this, Maada? Oh, yeah, it doesn't show up anymore. Ripple, XDC, Stellar, IATA, Algorand. Okay, so let me know what you mean by they blocked the list. Before we go, this might help other people if they watch this for 4 hours. Let me know. Joshua Felder, let me know what you mean by they blocked the list. Just put the list here. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, yeah, you can't, the chat is blocked for certain things. Oh, you put the list in. Okay. There's the list, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the coins of interest. I don't know if the coin value is going to increase. I do think Stellar is, because Stellar is like, what, 38 cents or something stupid like that? That's crazy, right? That's a low price. Let's see. Let's see what Stellar is. 25 cents. 26 cents. So that's interesting. XRP, I don't even know what that is. But that is part of it. Crypto, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about it earlier. Okay, I got to run. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out. All right. I forgot to end the broadcast.